What's going on, guys? Credit Solutionist here from mycreditcall.com and fixmyficonow.com. As you guys are coming in, go ahead and like up the video and let us know where you're watching from tonight for the drama. All right. So, we have all heard the tea about Angela White, aka Blac Chyna, the former exotic dancer, turned video girl, turned OnlyFans model, reality star, probably most famously, mother of Rob Kardashian and Tyga's children. Okay. She's been making some major changes lately, and her physical appearance has got everybody talking, right? So, Blac Chyna has always been known for like being voluptuous, yada, yada, yada. Thanks in part to some pretty major plastic surgery. We all know what's going on, but now she's reversing it. And those procedures are basically causing her to go on a massive media tour right now. And it's really kind of odd to me, but we're going to talk about that tonight. So she's been going for a more natural look, as y'all know, right? And I'm suspicious, to say the least. That's all I'm going to say. I believe that she's realized that maybe OnlyFans is a dead-end career, and some people are speculating that she's only doing this for profit, but it also could be because she's absolutely found the Lord, as y'all have seen. So I don't know about you, but I'm very curious to find out what my friends have to say about this. So I have an opinion, and we're going to talk about it tonight. But I will be bringing on two special guests tonight. One is my girl Cherie from Black Women Making Money on YouTube, and Mentor Shelly from the Mentor Shelly channel. And tonight we're going to talk about Blac Chyna's change and the power of the pivot. So help me welcome my guests, Miss Cherie. Hey, girl. And Mentor Shelly.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, girl. Hey. Hey.
How y'all
All right.
doing?
I know. And everybody, as you're coming in, don't forget to like the stream and definitely share with your friends. I brought these two ladies on because I did not want tonight to just be a gossip fest. If it was just me, that's totally what it would be. It'd be messy as hell. But I wanted to bring on.
Instead, we're mixing up the financial literacy with the gossip. That's what we're doing.
And some career pieces to it too.
Absolutely. So I really want to, and I want to be clear here. We're going to definitely be getting messy tonight. So don't trip, y'all. Like, I'm going to get messy. Like, it's fine. But I also wanted to talk about the power of the pivot and what I think Blac Chyna is really doing here, along with some aspects of this story that maybe are out there, but because, you know, we're on social media, we're able to put these things together and figure out what the play actually is. Okay. So, all right, ladies, before we get started, I actually want you guys to have a proper introduction. So, Cherie, I'll have you go first. Just tell us where you are from, what you do, and all that good stuff. And then Shelly will go to you next.
Hey, everybody. I am from a YouTube channel called Black Women Making Money. We are the home of the upwardly mobile Black woman, meaning that we want to get to upper middle class socioeconomically. So we focus on personal finance, the economy, leveling up within our careers, getting married, and raising Nepo babies. So, yeah, that's what we do over there.
I love it. All right, Mentor Shelly, go ahead, girlfriend.
Mentor Shelly. This is Mentor Shelly, wanting to make sure that you become a better version of yourself professionally, whether you are flourishing in your career, or you're starting a business, or you're starting that side hustle. We are all about promoting your professional life. We're all about leveling up. We're all about making sure that you have your own personal economy in check, and always looking for ways to elevate your personal economy. And that's what we do at the Mentor Shelly channel.
Right on. All right. So as you can see, I have brought on some heavy hitters, and they are definitely some women of intelligence. So we are going to be messy, but you know, it's fine. But again, we're going to have some helpful information here. So the first thing I wanted to talk about, like, okay, you ladies have obviously heard about Blac Chyna's change, right? So I just want to know from the two of you, just one word answers so we can know where everybody stands. Do we think it's genuine, or do we think that it is a play for money?
Play for money.
All right, Shelly, what say you?
Oh, she froze.
Oh no, she's frozen.
Oh goodness. I'm gonna answer for her as well. Here she is. She's back.
Oh, here she is, Shelly.
I see her blinking.
Yes, I'm here. I may need to move locations, so don't But okay, let me try to stay where I am right now. Okay.
All right.
One word answer.
Yes, ma'am. Is it a money play?
Interesting.
At that, no, you got to
Oh,
tell us where you stand. You could be honest, and that's the whole thing, because I want people to see like we all have different perspectives on this. So
I think there are parts of it for her that's transformative, but I also see that it's also an economic move too.
you riding the fence. Okay,
She's
Shelly.
not riding the fence.
Girl,
No, 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 no,
go
no,
ahead.
no.
Go ahead,
It,
move your
it's
location. We'll see you in a minute.
it's 99% about the
Okay.
money. 1% could be genuine,
All right.
yes. Yeah, but 99% definitely.
All right, cool beans, cool beans. Okay, so the first question I actually have for you ladies is where do you actually know Blac Chyna from? And I have that question for the audience as well. Where have y'all actually heard of this woman? Where did you first become familiar with Blac Chyna? For me, it was literally through social media. There was actually that girl Amanda Bynes that was going nuts a couple of years ago, and she pierced her cheeks, and she said that the reason she did it was because of a stripper in LA or somewhere named Blac Chyna. And I thought, who the hell is this girl? So found out who she was, and I was like, really, Amanda Bynes? That's what we doing now? We putting holes in our face? Okay. So,
Yeah,
Sherry, how
yeah.
did you first hear about her?
I first heard about her when she started dating Rob Kardashian, just because it was all over. So there are a couple of gossip blogs that I tune into every once in a while, wink, wink. And they started talking about this woman named Blac Chyna. And, I think they were getting close to, either having a baby or getting married or doing the TV show or something. And all of a sudden she was everywhere. So.
Okay, so she basically is famous for nothing, is what you're saying. All right, cool, got it. So
Well, she is famous for stripping. She is famous for having a celebrity as a baby daddy, actually two of them. She's famous for going up against probably the most powerful Hollywood family that's
yes.
out there today that's relevant, right? Um, so yeah, she's famous for quite a few things, but other than that, we don't know what her true talent is. I mean.
Okay, now she does have a few talents, so I don't want to
Mhm.
go into this and start sounding like we're judging her or doing any of that. So
Mhm.
we took Shelly off the screen, y'all, because I think she's relocating. So she'll be back in a little bit. Now, okay, let's be real about who she is and where she came from. So I had a question. Hang on one second. My screen just went black completely. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on here. Could it be the Kardashians? Okay, so okay, so how did Blac Chyna get famous? So at the end of the day, the girl is truly famous for exploiting her body. So the question that I have for this live stream tonight is she sold her body at the very beginning of her career, at the very beginning of her adulthood, to be quite honest. She became a stripper at 19 years old. That's the beginning of adulthood for those of you that, that she's an adult. Okay, so she learned very early on to commoditize her body, right? Now I didn't know, but her mother is actually a stripper as well. So that kind of explains why she got into the lifestyle, but I want to kind of shed some light on who this girl is besides being a stripper. Now, she did what most women typically do, or kind of what the stereotype is, where she went to school, but she could not afford school. So she opted to do some exotic dancing on the side, right, to go to school. However, what I thought was very interesting about her story was that she quit going to school because she was tired, but she kept on dancing. So I thought that
Yes.
was kind of interesting.
So the whole point of a young lady stripping while in college is that it's supposed to give her extra time to study, you know? That
Reading
it's,
this. Okay, go ahead.
that yes, that it's supposed to be what? Maybe 3 to 4 hours a night, 2 hours a night.
Correct.
But I mean, if you're doing lap dances, maybe a little bit more. But the whole point is, and you're supposed to have more time. It's supposed to be really good money so that you can have more time to focus on your studies. So Yeah. And she was down in Miami. So, we don't know what else was happening at that time.
Right. Now, the main reason that I'm bringing this up is because I need people to understand that um, China has a history of commoditizing her body. So I'm going to go ahead and continue with her career, right? So next, she became a video girl because she was discovered by a rapper in a club when she was down in Miami. Oh, she's from DC, by the way. Not sure if that even matters to you guys. So she went down to a club called King of Diamonds down in Miami. I don't know a lot about Miami, so I'm not even going to pretend like I do. But my guess is she relocated down there to make tons of money. Now, here's the kicker. China first started getting her booty injected at 19 years old. So she could actually go back, go into this lifestyle full force. So she just gave up the education and all the positive stuff from the very beginning, right? Now, she then became a reality TV star, from what I understand, and then got with the Kardashian and then became an OnlyFans model. I'm not sure if you guys are noticing a trend here where every pursuit she's going into is quite short term and they're all related to her body, her
Hmm.
beauty, being sexually attractive. So I noticed that from the get go about this. And that's kind of why I wanted to have this conversation tonight. See, they dropping off because I'm not being dramatic enough. I want to have a
Yeah.
real conversation about this.
Well, she's also with the butt injections and the things that she had done, she was being attractive to a certain type of man as well.
Correct.
And she I believe, didn't she have her boobs done as well?
Yes. Now
Yeah.
I didn't go through an entire list of all of the things that she got done because
Hmm.
okay, Credit Solutionist absolutely supports plastic surgery. Okay.
Yes.
I have a story that I'm not going to tell now. I'm going to tell it maybe towards the middle if it comes up again, if y'all remind me. But I, at one point in my life, wanted to get plastic surgery, and I'm still not averse to it. I would still do it to this very day. Now, I'm not going to tell y'all what I would do, but I'm okay with it. Now, was I going to do it to shake it on a pole? Absolutely not. Because there's an aspect of plastic surgery that I think a lot of people are missing with this Blac Chyna story. And that's what we're going to dive into tonight. So, all right. So far, we have Shelly with genuine, but also money. And then we have Cherie that says money. And then Credit Solutionist that says money. So we win. Stream is over. No, but, but
What does the poll say? What does the chat say?
oh, girl, I don't even know how to check it, but I see we have a super chat, so I'm definitely going to look into that. Y'all, you got to give me a second because I'm clicking all around here. Your girl is lost on this screen, okay? Hang on one second. How do I even check it? Tell me how to check it, Cherie.
Okay, so I checked it. It says here that we have 10 votes and 70% says no, Blac China's change is not genuine. So that means they think that she is doing it
Oh.
for the money too.
Oh,
Damn.
ouch.
Okay. Now, see, I was expecting to get on here and be the bad guy. So, okay. I want to talk about some of the reasons that I think that it's not genuine. But before we get into that, let me go ahead and address the chat because I do see that we had quite a few people show up, which is so wonderful. Still
Yeah.
rocks. Thank you so much for showing up. Selfish love. Hey, hey. I'll try
Hey.
my best to be good tonight, girlfriend. Dark and lovely. Hey there. And then, of course, we have Black Women Making Money, who's right here on the screen. We got Mentor Shelly. Who else we got in here? We got Blessed in Every Area of My Life. I have never seen your name before. So welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you for contributing to the chat. I appreciate you. Hey, Subconscious Therapy. How are you? And then we have the lady herself, Miss Erica Williams, Smartphone Money. Thank you so much for stopping by. Okay, and then we got Selfish Love, and we got the first super chat of the night from Erica Williams, Classy Climb Smartphone Money. All right, let's see what she's saying here. The swing is back to natural looking. I said it on my Instagram the other night, and everybody was like, mm-hmm. So yeah, the swing is back to natural looking women, natural hair, holistic living, and homesteading. So once Kim took butt implant, exactly, I knew it was in full
Yeah.
swing. Money
Not
and
only,
Christian, this is what we're getting at tonight.
yes.
See, she
So
knows.
not only that, there have even been with like the makeup girls over the
Mhm.
past few years, they have gone from, the exaggerated looks like the whole, what was it, Kylie, the little one. Kylie, yeah.
Mhm.
They've gone from that to wanting more of a natural look as well. So it's not just the strippers that are changing, like everybody's changing to the more natural look.
Right. And like I said, I'm really stuck on this whole thing about her commoditizing her body because I think people are putting away or trying to ignore the idea that she's still commoditizing her body. And that's the point that I want to make tonight. She has not moved that far away from what she was originally doing. Taking off your clothes and shaking it, and doing all that for some change, to taking pictures online for OnlyFans, to then televising the removal of your fillers and taking all these foreign objects out of your body. She is still selling her body. She is still making it a money move. That's the point I want to get at. And that's part of the reason that I don't feel that this is completely genuine, because again, she's doing the same thing, just on the other end of the spectrum. I don't remember, well, maybe there are some people in the industry, Shelly, maybe you can refresh my memory. Are there anybody you can think of in the industry that has televised their transformation? Because typically procedures are very taboo. Like Kylie, to my knowledge, still hasn't admitted that she's changed her entire face and she looks like a whole different person.
K. Michelle. K.
Oh,
Michelle.
okay.
K.
Okay.
Michelle did a lot of augmentation to her body. She really didn't need to. She was already a beautiful woman.
Mm-hmm.
Another that this is necessarily televised, but unfortunately, Little Kim did some changes and it did not work out for her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So just depending on who you're talking about and what in the last say 20 to 30 years, there have been some changes going back to the natural look, because a lot of it has been made. The changes have been made because of health reasons. You kind of had to, based on what's going on with her. She's Blac Chyna, which is what's her name? Angela? Her real
Angela
name?
Renee White. Put some respect on her
I'm
name, I
sorry.
guess.
Angela Renee White. Her government, as I always refer to it. Angela Renee White, pretty much this is not new. Her conversion, while I hoped it was genuine
Mm-hmm.
all the way, um, as you kind of said, at the end of the day, she's sticking to the script that she knows. Everything having to do with her body in some way, shape, or form
Mm-hmm.
is being used to market to capitalize on some form of a career move. Because if
Yeah,
you're trying
because
to move into acting or something like that, you're
Mhm.
still using your body, maybe
Yeah,
just not as explicitly as you would on OnlyFans.
yeah.
It's still a
Right.
career move.
Yeah, well, she makes a career out of showing her life. At the end of the day, she's truly a reality star, no matter
Mm-hmm.
Right.
whether it's on Instagram or whether it's on the Zeus network or et cetera, et cetera. So this makes sense. Also, it's smart, in my opinion, when women have a drastic move like this in Hollywood
Hmm.
to kind of have it on display. I'll give you a great example of that. For
Hmm.
those of you ladies who are old enough, you probably remember a little movie called Dirty Dancing. Remember the girl that played Baby in Dirty Dancing, Jennifer Grey?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
She had a very distinctive nose when she was in Dirty Dancing. And
Yep.
Yep.
what did she do? She went through Hollywood and she changed her nose. And I don't know, people are like, I could tell it was her. I'm like, that woman does not look like
No.
the Baby we knew from the movie. She changed her nose so much. So with Angela doing this transition, it's kind of smart of her to do it in front of everybody so that when people see the final product, they're like, well, at least we know how the sausage was made.
Oh,
At least we saw the sausage being, I don't mean that badly, but you know what
just
I'm
No.
straight
saying,
We
sausage.
right?
understand.
Yeah, yeah. So it's bringing her a lot of, first of all, she's probably getting all the surgeries for free. She's
Hmm.
probably getting paid to have these surgeries because she's bringing a lot of attention to all the people that she's endorsing through this.
Mhm.
And it's a power play.
All
It's a
right.
power play for
Now,
her.
Mhm.
okay. So what I wanted to hone on is that, again, she's built a brand essentially on the surface on lust and debauchery. However, I did some digging about Blac Chyna to see who she is, because you guys know I'm from LA, right? And I believe she lives in Calabasas, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Now, anybody that knows anything about Calabasas, well, it's expensive to live there. And a particular family runs Calabasas, if you know what I'm talking about. So we could not have this live stream without me talking about this, because I do think that there is something to this Kardashian situation. And I do think that this is part of why she has decided to change. So, a big part of this story that not a lot of people are focusing on is that Blac Chyna is in financial trouble. Have you ladies heard about this? And
Yes, I had heard about it. Yes.
now
Mhm.
China has been very well, I'll say she's been somewhat transparent about what's really going on. In saying that,
Mhm.
in one article, she said she had $3,000 in her checking account. This is somebody that made $241 million supposedly on
I
OnlyFans.
don't believe that, but go ahead.
Even she dispelled that. So I wanted to talk about that too. So, okay, Miss 241 million, great. She has a baby by a Kardashian and Tyga. So these are two, I would assume, millionaires, right? That she's had babies with.
But she's
We would
not getting any child support. Go ahead.
exactly. So I'm running down this list for a reason, y'all. So just rock with me. Now, what I think happened here is that Blac Chyna was using the only tactics that she knew, which were very basic. It's the basic baby mama play, where if it's a athlete, rapper, movie star, I'm gonna nab him, I'm gonna get it fertilized, I'm gonna have a baby, and my life is gonna be set. But what Blac Chyna didn't understand is that she went into this system, number one, wrong color. That's number one.
I think she could have gotten away with that. I honestly do. I think she didn't play it right, but go ahead.
Thank you. Now, what she did
Um,
was she thought she was going to do the child support thing. That didn't work because, again, she's going up against an empire when you talk about the Kardashians. So that
Mhm.
play didn't work. Okay, let me back up here. Because, like I told you, I found out so much about this. I was like, oh my God. So she was dating Tyga first.
Mhm.
Now, Tyga then started dating the Kardashian, right?
Mhm.
That is actually how Blac Chyna got introduced to that family.
Mhm.
So, in what world is it legit and cool for your ex to introduce you to your next lover, and y'all are all in the same family, effing the same people? That's my first question. So the Kardashians kind of already knew her game from the very beginning. They already looked at her background. This is speculation, allegedly, y'all. They looked at her background and they said, okay, this is just a video hoe. I know what this is. We know what this is. You are not Kim, and Tyga is not Ray J, and neither is Rob Kardashian. You are not going to be able to come into this family and do that play, ma'am. So she has the baby, right? Which again was already weird because Rob's sister dated China's baby's father before China dated Rob. Are we not understanding this was a play?
I
Am I
get
am
it.
I am I goofy here for thinking like no, China was trying to play a game that she's not good at? Like that's my first part of it, okay? Second, she has 50-50 custody with both Rob and Tyga.
Mhm.
Where the hell was she supposed to get child support from?
So, may I?
I'm just running down her list of mistakes here.
Okay. Well, finish
uh,
your list of mistakes because I got a couple.
Okay.
mhm.
Now, and let me put this on the screen because I need to get people need perspective because they're like, what is she going on about? Okay. So, this is the story that a lot of people are trying to ignore. China is in legal trouble and China is going broke because she went up against a media empire. So, what I was saying is that we had this baby with Tyga, then we had a baby with Rob after knowing him for like 6 months or something. So, we go and we have a reality show with Rob, right? Rob and China was the show. Now, China, who is very similar to her mother, Tokyo Toni, they have a very violent streak in them. What she didn't realize is that when you beat on the only boy in the Kardashian family, now you're now you're starting some bad blood here. So they had a show. Chyna and Rob had a very violent relationship, as quiet as it's kept. The family saw this. Rob and Chyna broke up. Chyna all of a sudden loses her show. Okay, so she was already losing money in that respect, right? This is years ago. She then takes the Kardashians to court. Who the hell does that? Okay, this started in 2017, y'all. That's why I have this headline up here. So she basically went to bat with them in 2017 for defamation because she believes because she beat Rob's ass and her show got canceled that the Kardashians had a hand in it. However, I'm going into how she's not as business savvy as everybody's trying to make her out to be. Here's the issue. She went against this empire, sued them for the absolute wrong reason because she didn't read her contract. Her contract literally said the show is contingent upon you and Rob being in a relationship, fool. So whether or not the Kardashians had anything negative to say about her, she was going to lose that show anyway because she was doing her strong Black single woman thing. Feel me? That's what happened here. So
my understanding is that she didn't even sign the contract for season 2.
Well, honestly, she couldn't because if they had broken up before that, there was no contract to sign. They weren't going to let her sign that. Meaning the Kardashians by they. That's who I think. Oh, hang on. I got you back there. Hold on, Shelly. I want to get you on the screen. I'm sorry, girl. I didn't even realize you were.
I have several things to add to this before you go any further.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, you place yourself in the position that you're in, going from Tyga to Rob.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. Two, nobody besides you have control about how you operate in a relationship. You don't put your hands on people and think it's gonna fly.
Well,
she put a gun in front of him.
Yes, and she actually. And Shelly, I'm sorry. In front of him. Yeah, I didn't include this part. She incriminated herself. So the violent part is not alleged. So she admitted to the police that she tied a cord around Rob's neck. To me, that's attempted murder, but okay. She put a cord around his neck and then pointed a gun at him during an altercation.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Y'all have to forgive me. You guys have to forgive me. I did not watch any of this mess. Girl,
I just found out about this by reading about this mess because I knew there was more to this Blac Chyna story than just sucking fillers out of her face.
Well, of course, if you're putting hands on the boy and the family is going to try to protect their own, you're obviously not going to get anything from the family. Why do you think? And the 50-50 custody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Quiet as it's kept, means she gets no money. They pay for everything for that kid. Exactly. And they get to spend time with their mom and they spend time with their fathers. So she's not getting any money from Tigga or from Rob.
Yeah.
So
I have something.
The problem with all of that is if your whole plan was to bank on the child support from these two men, you chose the wrong two because none of them were fools.
Yeah.
You played yourself. And your only other choice once you burned bridges, killed opportunities, and put your hands on the wrong person was to go to OnlyFans. Okay. I'm looking for the career trajectory here because the career plan was to depend on the child support from these two people. And you did not get that. So your next and you had a reality show that could have brought in a whole lot more money. Didn't pan out because your pathology pretty much doomed that opportunity after the first season based on what you guys were telling me. Mm-hmm. So your only other skill, because in all this time, I'm talking from a career perspective right now, right? Through all of this, You didn't pick up a skill. You didn't learn how to do something other than go to OnlyFans and show your body again, because literally you came off the pole to be with these two, didn't work out, and they have 50-50 cousins, so you're not getting any money from them. So your only skill is to get back on the pole. You are around these multimillionaires, and the only thing you knew how to do or still kept focus on is to stay on the pole. But
Well,
stay on the
here,
pole. No, stay on the
yes.
pole through this. Literally, you didn't pick
Go
up
ahead,
any
Sharif.
skills.
So,
Like, come on, this is ridiculous.
okay, so I have so much to say here. I actually got notes here. So let's start with the last thing Mentor Shelley said, picking up a skill. The diva in all of this that knows how to pick up a skill is the almighty Kris Jenner, that mama, right? If anybody knows about Kris Jenner's history, she got herself dolled up. She got into the first class. She was the first class stewardess.
Mm-hmm.
She met this guy named Robert Kardashian.
Yep.
And she ended up hobnobbing with the who's who of Hollywood and learning how to do business and learning about the law and things like that. So what Mentor Shelley is saying is that, and this comes potentially from having a lack of family structure that teaches you these things from when you're young. It's being able to walk into a situation and know what you're there to pick up, what skills you're picking up, and who the networks you're going to have in order to make it. Because Kris Jenner not only picked up Rob Kardashian's legal skills, she also got his network as well. Right? So that's number one. And Blac Chyna did not pick that up. So ladies, any ladies that follow me, Black women making money, that you all know I'm always talking about my famous four. Like that's the thing to learn from her. Number two, we saw the pictures of Chyna. I believe Chyna is biracial. I'm going to bring the colorism argument into this conversation. She's a pretty girl. I think she's biracial. She did her body a certain way. She had rappers talking about her. She had people making it rain all over her. And then she moves from that structure, being in the video, to moving to a Kardashian community, thinking that was the same thing and she was going to get exalted the same way. And I believe she got a rude awakening for that as well. I believe she got a rude awakening for that. So, number three, she messed up because women don't like to get paperwork on these men. What's paperwork in this case? A marriage license, especially if you're living in California. She could have played this right. She could have been married to him for 10 years, even if she had a prenup. If she had played her position right, got married to Rob Kardashian, had Dream Kardashian, stayed married to him for 10 years, she would have been set for life. This is where you have Mama Kardashian teaching Kim how to hook Kanye for everything he's worth versus Tokyo Tony over here not giving her daughter the right playbook.
Tokyo Tony doesn't have the capability. I hate to
exactly.
And
exactly.
I'm so glad that you brought up Miss Tokyo Tony, because what I wanted to actually kind of go backwards. You are right in the sense that Tokyo is supposedly from the Dominican Republic, and she's, I guess, Afro Latina is what they call them. Right. So she's Afro Latina, came to the U.S., got into the army, is what I think I read, and Tokyo's been married 5 times. So there's something missing. There's something that's broken there. Now, I'll kind of give you a quick history about Tokyo Tony, because I kind of sucked it all in like, y'all, my head was going to explode. So, okay, long story short, Tokyo had Chyna at 16 years old. Oh. Tokyo, Chyna is a result of statutory, because Tokyo was 16. Chyna's dad was 22. I was going to play the video where she describes how she met this person. but she's so flippant about it that it actually upset me. And it triggered something in me because yeah, she was very flippant about it to where you can tell she doesn't care for the guy. She didn't like him. She said that she literally met him outside of a Macy's and that was it. They had sex the same night and boom, Chyna came out. So that kind of explains why Chyna is kind of out here by herself on her own and she has such a tumultuous relationship with her mother. I do think on some level the Kardashians were going to be her saving grace. The only issue, again, is that she chose to go up against the wrong machine using basic lady tactics. Because, like I said, it is a playbook. And I know this sounds terrible. And I'm trying not to generalize here, but there is a playbook. It is, again, meet a guy with money. Some women find a man with a government job, or a regular woman finds a guy in the military, gets knocked up, and she just says, hey, this is going to be my life. I have met so many girls and went to school with girls who said, I'm going to be a military wife. When I lived in Oceanside, California, Camp Pendleton, girls all the time. I went to college out there for a little bit. Girls, I'm going to go to the bar over by the base tonight because that's what we do in this town. And I'm like, what the hell? Y'all, this happens. So I think that, as far as the marriage, again, her mom has been married 5 times, so we can't use that as an excuse because she's familiar with marriage at least, right? The other thing that was kind of interesting that Tokyo did was Tokyo was also a drug dealer. And she invited Chyna's first boyfriend into their house to live at 16 years old. And yeah, you just have to listen to the interview, y'all. It's just a mess. So Chyna comes from a certain pathology that I think she keeps trying to get away from, but she can't because she doesn't know any different. And like I said, kind of what you were saying, Cherie, she had a golden opportunity, but who was there to really show her how to navigate this thing? Because here's something I want to share with y'all that annoys me. And this is part of what her financial issue is. And y'all, thank you for rocking with me because I know I'm all over the place tonight, but that's just how I do it. So listen, this was the biggest play of plays this year. And I think Kim is behind this. I don't even think that this is Chris. I think it started with Chris, but I think Kim put the bug in her brother's ear. Blac Chyna cannot even ever trademark, profit off of, start a company under any of her children's names. Well, her child with the Kardashian. I don't know what her story is with Tyga, but a little story that a lot of folks don't know is that the Kardashians have filed 5 trademarks for Dream Kardashian. So Chyna has a Nepo baby, but Chyna will never reap the benefits unless that Nepo baby says so. And actually, unless the Kardashians
say so.
Because not only,
Mm-hmm.
I hope the chat is listening to this because this is more than a girl getting fillers sucked out of her face. This is a girl that is trying to survive because every option she had to make money in the future is gone.
Yeah.
Because
No, wait. Stop.
No. You got to hear me out.
I don't agree with you. I'm sorry.
If Dream starts a company, Dream cannot even use her own name. Right? That already lets you know.
But.
So what was this play, Shelly? I want to know. Was this, because here's my thing. Why did this just happen in 2022? Chyna should have been did this. Chyna doesn't know what
did. No. She did. Hold on. She did. She tried to trademark Angela Kardashian.
Sure did.
A few years ago. And they
didn't get married.
That. Exact paperwork. Okay. So she wasn't married to Rob. She tried to trademark Angela Kardashian. The Kardashians, that mama, basically knows how to do business, right? I don't know who she called at the trademark office, what she did, but they got that thing stopped. And then, so it does take about, I think, 9 months for a trademark to go through. So it wouldn't surprise me if they started the paperwork like immediately after they cut Blac Chyna off
Mhm.
from that, but then it took a while for it to actually, go through. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's the story with the trademarks. That's why I said that her play
Um,
for Rob Kardashian was to get married.
And that's what I'm saying.
well,
She
of
played
course,
the
Diamond
nepo
Dave
baby
did touch
route.
on that here in the comments.
Oh, he's here. Y'all,
Hmm.
let me get back in these comments real fast. Shelly,
Yes.
okay, let me do this real quick, Shelly, and then I want you to chime in because I know, girl, you sounded very forceful for a second. So I'm gonna let you I'm gonna let you beat me, okay? Hold on. Yes, Tokyo Tony was a stripper. She was also a drug dealer, and again, clearly she can get men because she's been married 5 times.
She's a
So,
certified nut job, is what she is, allegedly.
absolutely, and she's married the same man twice. So that is one of her marriages. Poll says no. QDOJs for the love. Hello. Which, like I said, part of it, I'm not mad at it. The only thing that annoys me about Blac Chyna is that she just didn't play it fast enough and she didn't play it right. I would have married Rob, but I think that because she had the baby so soon, they knew what it was. Those girls are not dumb. They're very savvy,
This is
you
where
know?
you're using street tactics with
Yes,
upper class individuals.
that's my
It
point.
does not work. So on our
No.
channel, we talk about moving up socioeconomically, and this has a lot to do with it. Like, you cannot take hood stuff up to upper class. And now Victoria's right, especially as a biracial slash black woman, and think that stuff is going to fly. It's just
Shelly,
not.
y'all, why y'all cutting up in my chat too? Okay, so I did. She said Kanye got surgery. Did you guys hear about that?
I heard that he got like a tummy tuck or something.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When has he ever showed his body? Okay, well,
Mhm.
good on him, I guess. The 241 million. Actually, she did say publicly that that was not true. So we can talk about that in a minute, also, Shelly, about that. That
Oh,
whole
okay.
thing. Kim and China were once good friends.
Okay.
Friends, I think we use that term a little too loosely here. Now, Shelly actually has something that I wanted her to touch on when we get to it. That kind of thickens this plot. But no, I don't think that they were actually friends. I think that that was Hollywood. Okay, so going from Tiger to Rob Kardashian was not the upgrade. The interesting thing that I think a lot of people overlook about Rob during that time also, Rob is a recluse. So Rob was an easy target. So again, his protective sisters and his mother and the
He was just there.
gynocentric model that they have in their house, they saw what was happening. They saw it. They could sniff it from a mile away
Hmm.
because who is this girl? She's a stripper. What is her actual talent? Okay, we know Kim doesn't have a talent, guys. We know Khloe doesn't have a talent. We know that, but they have the backing of the Kardashian name. Okay, they can always lean on their father if they wanted to. They have skin in the game. China does not. But I do think she took advantage of where Rob was
They
mentally
also have
because
this privilege.
that as well. But like I said, he was a recluse. He was depressed, and I know a lot. I wouldn't say a lot. I shouldn't say that, but I have known women that have swooped in when they could tell that a man was not at his best.
She probably also was good and bad. Let's be real.
That
She
as
probably
well.
she probably did black backflips and just, yeah.
Well, here's the thing too about that, because okay, let's be real, ladies, and we're gonna keep on with the comments here, but let's be real. Strip clubs are not just girls taking off their clothes. Can we? And Miss Tokyo Tony admitted publicly that she used to do corn. So I'm not gonna well, I am gonna speculate. I wouldn't be shocked if Miss China learned a few things in the champagne room at the club in Miami. Because you got to do something for some rappers to shout you out on their albums, is what I'm gonna say.
Absolutely.
So she
Oh
definitely
boy.
she saw
People
an
doing
opportunity with Rob and probably used some of her skills on him. And Rob was whipped because he
Mhm.
impregnated her within 6 months. So he was definitely whipped.
it's
Hey,
something strange
Manosphere.
for a piece of change.
Hey, Manosphere. So, yeah. Let's really pay attention to this whole picture here, okay? But hold on, let me just keep going, y'all. Then we gonna jump right back in. Shelly, I know you still got it, girl. Hold on, hold on. Okay, Rob loves China, so there's no show without exactly. And again, that's where you have a person that's using street knowledge, street tactics, spit in the hand and handshake. I would even bet she did the blood brother thing when she was a kid, right? She's one of those people that doesn't understand you have to do business on paper. And that's why so many dudes and women honestly don't want to get married, because you understand that once the ink is on that paper, it gets a little harder to walk away, and the court system might look at y'all a little different after you break up. Because if he was nice enough to marry you, it's going to be hard to kind of run Rob through the ringer, especially just the family that he comes from. So, but yeah, like I said, she was looking at it from the wrong standpoint, because she even got on social media and said, hey, I just had to sell my cars. I only have $3,000 to my name because these guys don't pay child support. Wait a minute, ma'am. You decided to not marry either one of them. You're bad, number one. Number two, don't get on social media and play your fans like they're all idiots, because you'll have somebody like me that will get online and say, wait a minute, 50-50 custody, sister. You're not getting child support anyway. So thankfully, the two guys clapped back and they said, no, ma'am, we pay for their thousands of dollars in schooling. So we taking care of our Nepo babies, boo. We don't know what you're doing. We taking care of ours. So you're not going to do the black daddy, bad daddy trope. You're not going to act like Rob is a scrub. He's surrounded by too many women for that to happen, right? She's just, it's like she's grasping at straws. It's like she's acting in desperation is what I'm getting, let me see. Yeah, she should have been going to Chris for business advice instead of like going to bat with her, because that happens too. A lot of women will come into a family. They know the man is weak and they know that he will ditch his family for them. Rob is not that guy. He's not. Those
I
women
think
will
he would
protect him.
have. No. I
You
think
think
he
so?
would have. Oh, yes. I think he would have if she had played it right. But she decided to be on a TV show with him. I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
she decided. She decided to enter their world. If China
Yeah.
was, let's say, an environmental lawyer who lived in DC, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or a Wall Street girl, and she wasn't like looking for the cameras or anything like that. I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely believe Rob would have left California and gone to live with his wife in Connecticut somewhere as she travels down to New York for her Wall Street job. Absolutely.
That kind of makes me wonder, because remember when Kanye wanted for Kim to settle down and move to Wyoming and she told him hell to the na-na?
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know.
Um, hmm,
I
mhm.
know.
Oh, I'm waiting for
I
Shelly to
gotta,
say what
I
she's got
gotta
to
be
say.
real. I don't think that Rob would have done it, because I think that
Don't know.
number one, he has a special relationship with Chloe. Because I do think that they bond on being kind of the outcast, but there's a whole story about that, because she's the one we don't really know, and I don't think she really is one, to be honest with you. Allegedly, I don't think she is a Kardashian, but
Let
I know, I know,
Rumors.
but
conspiracy
Allegedly,
theories
allegedly,
but
abound.
allegedly.
but I will say this. Tokyo, I think it was Tokyo. She touched on something. She said, a lot of y'all are thinking that she's not Rob's kid, meaning senior, Robert Senior. Nobody ever stopped to think that maybe like the dad had her with another woman. Like nobody ever stopped to think about that. And I think it was Tokyo that pointed it out. And I'm like, oh, so she probably is a Kardashian. She's not a Jenner. She's not whatever Chris was. So I'm like, yeah, it could be either one. But I do think one of the parents isn't hers. But now I'm kind of open to the fact that it could be that she doesn't belong to Chris. You never know. Because they say there
Leave
aren't
that
really many
alone.
pictures of her pregnant with her. So I'm like, oh, damn. And if that was her second kid, there should be some pictures, but apparently there's not any.
That would have
But
been her third kid.
yeah, Hi, GC. I always see you over on Diamond Dave's channel. Thanks for coming through. Yes, networking is important, Shelly. You right. All right. I think I'm almost there, y'all. All right, y'all. They got a lot of comments on this one. She ain't need to even get married to him. He's a super duper trick. He's really not a trick though, because again, he has the 5 trademarks. He's not a trick. He is surrounded by very business savvy women. So Rob will never be a trick. He was a trick in the sense that he impregnated her. That's about it. But he's solidified the fact that the kid is a Kardashian. She's in the empire. And she has the 5 trademarks, which cover every product under the sun that you could even think of. So no, he wasn't a trick in this situation. If anything, he kind of did the reverse of what the baby mama typically does.
Yeah,
right?
Stop right there with that comment
Here?
right there. Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Shelly. I'm sorry, girl.
Diamond Dave said Kardashians blocked the marriage. She tried. The plan was to marry him for real. They know Rob.
Oh, I mean, Dave, did you? You could have just ladies of the night. Jesus, sir. Lord.
Ladies of the night. We're gonna with the ladies of the night. He was easily tricked. Unfortunately for him, or unfortunately for Blac Chyna / Angela, that didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
The other plan she had was to do the whole, I'm going to get child support from these 2 men. They both did 50-50 custody on her, so she has no child support to get.
Mm-hmm.
Had she had the right mindset, could have picked up some business skills while she was around the Kardashians, even around Tigger, if she had the right mindset. Because she didn't have the right mindset, because I'm always a believer of, I'm always a proponent of, if you want to do better, you can. You just have to make the choice and take the actions to do so.
100%.
Nobody is above. Yeah, but the problem is you have a person that has always relied on, because that was always the crutch. You always relied on your body. So if you have nothing else, you use your body to make that money. And unfortunately, just like how Diamond Dave said, she went right back because it's laws of the game. That's the only thing you had outside of those 2 men. You didn't pick up no skills, Boo Kitty. You didn't pick up a book, something.
You know, it's not too late for her, though.
Your only reprieve was to do what? From a private place. And it's still not too late, which is why I said
not too late.
She didn't have, she still did. You're saying, oh, well, that's the only thing she has. Right now, it's a prime opportunity, it's a prime time for her to pick up some additional skills.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she may be using her body, but she can use her body in a more positive and a more natural, ladylike, less explicit way, so she can become a better version of herself professionally and otherwise. Of course, the tagline has to come in there at some point. But at the end of the day, it's still not too late for her. She's still fairly young.
She's 34.
She is the master of her destiny.
Okay, nice pivot.
But if
I like where you're going.
If she does, but if she doesn't, the thing about it is, had she had the right mindset, she would have never had to go to OnlyFans in the first place after being around two men like that have means and education. What are you talking? What did they do? They Dream's name.
Mm-hmm.
They not copyright. They
trademarked.
They trademarked it.
What trademark? The trademark game is not an expensive thing to do.
No.
But if you don't use these things, are a computer. If you don't look up what trademarks are, you're around the people that literally make money from being talentless, business savvy people. They don't have any talent why they were on TV as long as they were. That's sorry. That's just my opinion. I'm not even going to sugarcoat that. Let's be
No,
clear.
I think you're completely
But they
right.
have
And
enough, yeah, they have enough business savvy to make, they're on TV, what, 7, 8 years continuously?
Oh no,
Doing,
they've been on 20 years. Yeah, they
wow.
celebrated 20 seasons on E and then they moved over to Hulu.
That's to show you how, this
and
to show you how long I've been ignoring them. Because I don't
Hmm.
watch
well,
their
okay,
show.
let's talk about this. Two things, because I'm glad you talked about business savvy, because like I said, I wasn't going to slam her completely, but since you brought up the business, we're going to talk about some of her businesses right now, because no, I don't think that it was just a play for the nepo baby, but I'm going to tell you that was her ace in the hole. That was the strongest thing she had going. But here's the thing: when you're around certain people, you have to know how to capitalize on that. And you also have to be around the right people that will show you the game. Now, long story short, I'll tell you a story about like something that happened to me. Now, I was at a business club in LA, right? And I'm pretty sure none of them are watching, but okay, they had no idea that, I had a day job, and that's when I had just started the business. I had a day job. So I sat around in my pajamas all day and just did my work, right? I would get dressed up and go into this club every night at like 6 p.m. And leave at like 2 a.m. every day, right? Because that's just my fun. I'm going in this club, and everybody in there is just drinking. The old men are doing what old men do. And, I was definitely one of the younger girls at that club. So I got a lot of like rude awakenings, like, whoa, this is how men are. Oh God, sir, please, you know? And my friend told me, like, Victoria, you're coming at the wrong time. He said, you're coming when all of these business people are unwinding for the day. You're coming when you're going to see something. And if you tell somebody, you're going to get sued. He's like, so if you're really serious about your business and you want to talk to these people on a real level, come in here when I'm here. He stayed at that club from like 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. at night. And he's like, you need to come when I'm here. He's like, I'll introduce you to people. I'll show you what's what. Okay. He said, but you're coming in here at party time and you're expecting to get business. You're expecting to pull business deals. He's like, Victoria, that's not how this works. So I think just in that respect, and that wasn't even a black guy. How about that, y'all? And he was also the same person that brought me in the club, not a black guy. So again, expand your horizons, ladies. Now, after he told me that, I really had to go have a come to Jesus moment, right? And I said, okay, he's right. So did that, whole different atmosphere. So what I'm saying is that Chyna didn't have that person to tell her how to maneuver this thing. You know what I'm saying? Because that little simple bit of information that my friend gave me changed everything for me. And I'm like, oh, he's right. Duh. And and he's like, and if you see somebody get drunk, I don't care if they throw up in the front seat. He's like, you don't say a damn thing.
Hmm.
You don't say a damn thing. He's like, we pay every month to not have our business out there. That is why we pay for this club. And I'm like, oh my God. So I was thrust into this world of seeing these people. And I'm like, okay, I know I've seen that guy on TV. I know I've seen that guy on TV. I know that person. That person's this person. Da, da, da. And I'm like, what's going on here? So again, you have to be connected, and you have somebody in the room has to respect you enough or like you enough or just want to take you under their wing. And I think in this case, Chyna did not have that. Now, I
Yes.
wanted to talk about the
Can
business savvy
can
part, or she might have had it and she declined it.
Okay, yeah, because my question to you and all of your research is, does it look like she has that mentor now? Does it look like she has a list of things that she's, worked on outside
Um,
of her body?
Well, yes. So let's talk about this. I wanted to run through some of her businesses real quick, and then I'll tell you
Okay.
where she's at now, because she does have a
Okay.
doctorate, but we're going to talk about that degree in a second.
Yeah,
Now,
I don't believe that she sat in class for that
girl,
doctorate.
I'm going to be
In
real about
what?
this. And this,
In theology
no,
something.
look, look, I done already looked up the school and everything. I'm like, is it accredited? I can't
I,
use.
I
I can't
think
say what I want to
so.
say because it's a school for the Lord. But
She might be trying to follow. You all know Prince had that girl named Vanity years ago, and Vanity ended up becoming a servant of the Lord. But then Vanity, like, she went away. Like you never saw her again.
well,
And
that was
she
my issue with
Time,
what
different time. It's a different. It was a different
which
time.
it was like
yeah.
the 90s.
So okay,
Different
so
time.
this is one of her companies. Now, this
Mhm,
is the one I think could have done the best. It's
mhm,
not very clear if this company is up and running. The website is, and it allows you to order things, but this is
mhm,
Lashed by Blac Chyna. So this is the company she has out in Encino. Now, of course, because I'm me, I went and did some research on this, right? Now, this is public information, guys, so do not think I'm coming for her. This is just something every business owner should do. Or if you're curious about what business a person does, you need to go and look them up, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. Now, this is a place where they had, this is her, makeup, skin, lashes, all this good stuff, right? Now, this began, I think, back in, I want to say 2013, 2014. I'll pull up the information so you guys can see it. But this is very lucrative. Now, I had a friend that started a lipstick brand. And also the guy that's married to Keisha Kaur, it's a rapper. Um, oh God, I forget the guy's name. Oh my God. But he went to jail and she like held him down while he was in jail the entire time.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, so Keisha Kaur actually started a lipstick line, and that's how she got
Mhm,
really famous. Because I used to be a makeup artist, so I kind of follow these people, and it's like
mhm.
she was one of the first people to really do that in the urban like side. So everybody just went for it, and she became like, I don't know if she became a millionaire, but she made a lot of money off of it, and that's where she really started to make real money.
She,
Which
tri-
put
she tripled his money.
yeah, and
Wow.
it put her in different cycles. So I'm showing all this to show, okay, China did have something going for her. But the interesting thing
Gucci.
that I found about this company, after I looked it up, I want to see if it's actually on here. Angela R. White, here we go. So this is Lash Cosmetics, which is the website that I just showed you guys. Now, if you go on to the Secretary of State for California, it does say that it is currently active. Now, she had another company that was actually defunct. So this one is actually okay. This one's doing okay. So that's fine. So I don't think she has any issues there. But it's this one here that I think has the issue because she had like a Medi Spa place where they were doing um I don't want to say butt injections because that's not what they were doing. They were doing oh my God, like facials, injections in the face, all kinds of weird stuff that you would have to be licensed to do. So I don't know if that's part of why the place closed or not, but I don't know if she has any issues with that too, because that could be part of what's going on here. So I think that there's some financial woes that could be happening. So I'm showing China's Closet here because this is also an active LLC that she has with the state of California that is in good standing. Okay, this is based in Calabasas. I don't know if this is the location of the store. All the addresses are the same, which is a little weird. So she might need help with how to set up her companies. But because this is a company that's currently functioning, I have a question for you ladies. How the hell is she going to pivot when her entire website is her old self in all of this all these get ups? Like she's going to have to do a massive overhaul because this is still going to be a company that's functioning and active and she's still selling things and she's selling it based on the Blac Chyna
It can,
brand.
it can still work. There has to be a rebrand, and she can probably have other models, not just herself on there. It's going to cost her a
Mhm.
little bit of money to rebrand and have other people on there, but it's still
And I
possible.
want to
The makeup line can be rebranded. She can keep a lot of the graphics and pictures she has for the makeup because she doesn't have anybody actually modeling the makeup. But it's on display. But if this is a clothing line, if
mhm.
anything, if anything, I would have said she should have marketed and branded that versus going to OnlyFans. But That's just my opinion.
Well, look, here's the thing, too. And this is what I noticed. And I'm just going to point this out as a business person, and y'all could probably understand this too. The only reason I think that this company is not pulling in very much money is number one, nobody even knows that it freaking exists. And I know there's probably
Yeah.
people in the
She
chat.
probably,
Did you guys in the chat even know she had a clothing brand?
No,
nope.
Did
She
you know
probably,
she had a
no,
lash brand?
no,
Some
not
of
a
y'all,
clue.
some of y'all probably didn't even know she's a rapper too.
No,
Did y'all
didn't
know
know
she?
that
Did,
either.
did you know she had a music career?
All I knew was OnlyFans. You know what's interesting about this is some of this clothing is actually quite cute.
Mhm.
Like if
It,
it were not
I,
okay,
I
if it
mean,
were no. Like that jacket on the right-hand side
Yeah, that black jacket is cute.
on
oh, I'd support that.
another model
It's
would
cute.
actually be something that a lot of so Aunt Angela, I'll call her Angela. This is a
Put some
Blac
respect
Chyna
on it.
look right here, right?
Hmm.
She has a certain target demographic that I think is very limited. However, some of the clothing that I'm seeing on here, not the other three things you have on, but that jacket in particular, is something that a wide swath of women would
You'll
actually
wear.
wear
Yeah.
if she took this and she actually rebranded it with different models.
Yeah, I think if some serious marketing is done with both the with makeup and the clothing line, rebranding because she's rebranding herself,
Mhm.
these can
Yeah.
actually be very lucrative. That's why I'm saying, you guys were like the last grab was her kid. No. This young lady still has a lot of opportunities available to her if she has the right mindset and work on the right aspects of herself and the businesses she currently has online.
And the right manager.
Hmm.
I think she needs the right business manager,
Hmm.
and she needs if she takes her new aesthetic. And I was reading with the ladies on my channel, I was reading an article. Oh, no, I posted it.
Hmm.
The fact that there are now more millennial homeowners now than non-millennial homeowners. So she's 34 years old. She's
Hmm.
going, if she is smart, she will look at how can I focus on people who are, I don't know, 25 to like 50 years old who
Hmm.
are moving into the I'm a mom, I want to really get my career together, I really want to move in more professional spaces, etc. And
Yeah.
some of
Hmm.
the clothing that she has on there could work. Some of the
Yeah.
makeup that she has on there could actually work for her.
Right. Yeah, I don't think I,
Now,
I don't think all is lost. I just think the approach she's been taking for God knows how many years isn't working, so she's making changes to that, and
hmm,
making the proper changes, either getting a marketing person or having somebody train her to do her own marketing would absolutely benefit her. Pick up skills to be better in business, career
hmm.
wise, that'll definitely help. So there's possibilities here. And it all depends on mindset wise what Angela wants to do.
All right, I feel you. Sorry, y'all, I'm still looking for something here. But what I was gonna say is that when I saw the makeup line and I saw all the cosmetics and I saw everything she was doing, it brought me back to the trademark situation. And I want to go through some of these trademarks because now you can kind of understand. This is how I'm connecting the dots here, Shelly. Now, she definitely does have an option to do something else. However, God is usually the Hail Mary. That's usually the last thing because she can't. Okay, humor me, Shelly.
Maybe not, but go
I know
ahead.
I'm all. Look, let me come in close. Humor me, Shelly. Is it not true that after OnlyFans, she might have had to go into more salacious activities?
Based on her career track, the next thing would have been the industry of nakedness. So
Now,
that would have been the next step. However, the shelf life of all of these career choices she's made are short. Your body is
which
not
let
going to be
yes.
it's not going to be statuesque forever. Surgery enhancements or changes do not last forever. People go back in and repatch stuff every few years. So I I'm hoping in my heart of hearts, and we want to stay positive here.
Of
Bless
course.
God, amen. That the change, spiritual change, the mental change, that a lot of that aspect of her change or transformation is real, at least on some level. However, it can also be beneficial from a career standpoint with the right mindset, as you say, with the right business manager, with the right, you know what I mean, with the right team in place. Let me say that with the right team in place, she can really turn this around. And I think this is the start of it. However, I know you want to go in another direction, so go ahead.
No, hold on.
So,
Hold on. Just get my point here. Okay, so let's also be honest about this.
mhm.
I'll pull up my stuff. Go ahead, Sheree. You were gonna say something. I'll pull up my
Well,
junk
I
while you
was
do that.
I was going to say a couple of things. The first is that right now, I'm not the biggest fan of clothing and makeup businesses because I think that they're highly dependent on the
Ooh.
celebrity itself and the celebrity staying power. If I were her business manager, I would want to look for something like what a Jessica Alba did, where people are so engrossed in the product. Or Ryan Reynolds just sold T-Mobile. No, it wasn't T-Mobile, it
No, he
was Mint
sold two
Mobile.
T-Mobile.
He sold to T-Mobile, he sold Mint
Mhm.
Mobile.
Yeah.
I would want to look for something for her that is independent of her brand overall as well. Because what I'm looking at is the fact that she's 34. The average Black woman lives to age 76. Okay. So I did the math on this when we came up. She has 42 years of life left. How do I take somebody? Look, if we're going to be analytical about it, I'll be the business coach tonight. Let's be analytical. How do I take somebody and actually put them into something that stretches out over the next 42 years?
Okay, that's
I
fair.
don't think ultimately it's
Mm,
anything that you've shown thus far. For a short term blip, what I would do if I were her business manager is I would set her up with some sort of transformation show,
mm-hmm.
either on Netflix or it could even be on IG or YouTube because, or even TikTok potentially if it doesn't get banned, because you're going to get
Right.
massive reach with those things. And
Yeah.
every time, we show a woman, we're transforming her, we're doing what? We're putting her in the clothing brand that Angela
Mm-hmm.
has, and we're putting her in the makeup, and maybe we get a hair like line for her as well. And that way people are seeing all of these products and these transformation shows and going to the website and purchasing the products that they like. That to me is like a short term thing. You might be able to get 4 or 5 seasons out of that. Long
Then
term, I want her in something like that Mint Mobile or Honest Company or something like that, where it's not dependent on her brand at all
right,
for it
Mm,
to be successful.
right.
So that's
Okay.
Cherie's. And then ultimately I would look at like women who use their bodies early in their career and made a pivot and truly made it last. And the two names I came up with was Brooke Shields and Pamela Anderson. Um,
did Pam
Brooke,
ever really not be a sex symbol though? And was she ever taken seriously in your opinion? Because I don't think so.
um, I'm just thinking after she did Baywatch, I don't know what else she did, but she seems to like I've never heard Pamela Anderson having money problems. So whatever she's doing is is something is working for Pamela Anderson. I do know more so about Brooke Shields. She's done more
Mm,
behind the camera.
Now,
which is really, which has really catapulted and helped her. And now she's on the Hallmark Channel, I think, or something like that. So, you know, you know, but yeah, like that would be Cherie, business manager for this whole rebranding thing. I got a 5-year plan with that transformation TV show, and then I'm looking for like that long-term money thing for her.
All
I,
right.
I could definitely see it, and I can also, like, she's telling her story, but I could see her writing about her experiences as well, memoir, and because I'm sure she has great stories that can talk about her mental and spiritual transformation. That can also be lucrative as well for people that
All
want to
right.
get out of that lifestyle. Listen, there's 21 ways to skin a cat, and the comments are blowing up here. Like, there's
I
some
know
Yeah,
people.
somebody said
we're
Dancing
gonna
with the Stars.
no,
Yeah.
we
Yes.
about let me hop into those real fast, but let me
Mhm.
just hurry, let me get myself demonetized real fast. Hold on, y'all.
Oh Lord.
So
Oh, why?
because I'm gonna answer my full question to you, Shelly. Now
Oh
I
Lord.
said the first question, and you too, Cherie, but with Shelly, I'll be like, girl, I'm trying to pull Shelly over to the dark side so she can see this like I do. That's just me and my little ego. But
Nope.
so okay. I am only looking at this God play so critically because as we spoke about, the shelf life of what she was doing was so short. And it's expensive to keep up fillers and implants and butt injections and all this stuff. She even admitted that the butt implant thing was painful, like because she has silicone in her butt plus whatever else she did, right? So she's just packing on all this stuff, and she said she took out like it was 2 liter, like a 2 liter bottle of Coke is what she took out of her butt. Okay,
Whoa.
so she understood that to go deeper into this, to become lucrative, to get my success that I had from the pandemic, which she admitted that part of her success on OnlyFans was the pandemic. Because I talked to Shelly about that. And she's like, no, no, no. And I'm like, yes, yes, yes.
I'll
Because
believe
when,
that.
when men are sitting at home with no jobs, nothing to do, stressed out because we're all going to get sick, right?
And
Um,
a stimulus check.
and a stimulus check. Thank you. So my whole point
Oh.
was, so here's my point. But let me go on and get demonetized real fast while I talk. Now,
Lord.
no, this is Blac Chyna with the exception of whoever this Latina is with her tongue out. But let's just, to me, after seeing all of this, and these are not even the most risque pictures that I found on the internet, but I would think after some of this, and there's the infamous booty shot that I always tell Shelly all the girls are doing, because none of us have faces. Apparently, we have to take pictures from the back, and that's a thing for some reason. But when you really look at what she's done, her entire body of work really is rather gross. And I'm just saying that where it is smut. She's a smut peddler. I'm not gonna mince words anymore. I've been too nice. She's a smut peddler. So, because she couldn't go that deep into the smut anymore and she couldn't refine her name with the Kardashian label, is it not the natural next step to go to the Lord? That was my question for you, Shelly. Because you can't really go back from this kind of stuff where it's like, these are not the bad pictures, y'all. I'm trying to be nice here.
Okay, well, it's
You
bad
can't
enough.
go, you can't go from booty rocking everywhere to I'm just a clean cut woman that took out my fillers.
There,
Nobody's gonna buy that. She
but
needs
there.
extra.
Listen, I'm not saying you don't have a valid point
Let me get this
because
off my screen. Shoot.
I'm not saying that you don't have a valid point. But there
Yeah,
have been people that made the pivot without saying, I'm saved, I'm, this and this and that.
for sure.
There have been people that said, I've grown out of that lifestyle, and
Mhm.
they've chosen a more clean cut path to continue whatever business or whatever or whatever business or whatever other ventures they're going to continue with, because if they have eyes on them and there's some form of an influencer, they can still use the attention that they're getting for something more lucrative or something more feasible, something more useful, something more productive. So I'm not going to jump on that bandwagon with you all the way. I'm not going to say that you don't have a valid point. It may just have been a play.
No, she's a
Or
smut pet.
I am not going to use those words, okay?
Because what is no. Let's be real, because she also had an app. Like I said, I know about all these businesses. Y'all didn't know. She had an app. The app was an opening to it was a funnel to go into OnlyFans. Now, I don't know if you saw the blurred out pictures, but she was showing areola. She's a smut peddler, okay? And the photos that I found were very X-rated. And it was like, oh God, I cannot put this out here. But I know that but like I said, there is always room for a person to find the Lord. It's just that I find it extremely interesting that she found the Lord after being in a legal battle with the Kardashians for 5 years. Legal fees cost, guys. She had a lawyer on retainer for 5 years. So that's a monthly fee, right? The Kardashians clapped back and said, now you're going to actually pay our legal fees. Now that we've won, you're going to pay our legal fees, little lady. Now, the third thing was, I'm going to try to find it because I thought I had it pulled up, but she has an LLC in California that is now defunct and it's in bad standing with the Franchise Tax Board. Chyna has a tax bill. Number 4, from her OnlyFans money, she also has said in an interview, and I'll pull it up if I can, she has not paid taxes for 2018, 19, 20, 21, and 22.
Yeah, they came out in a court case.
Yes, Chyna is in dire straits. So that's why I'm telling you, the child being able to rescue her, believe me when I say that is true, because she could have gotten child branding deals. There could have been bubble bath, lipstick, chapstick, glittery shit that kids like. That was a gold mine.
But
right?
You didn't get any of that money.
Exactly. So we gotta not act like that. Maybe it's because all of the issues have happened that she has turned to the Lord. Because a lot of people, I guess, go to God when they just can't do nothing else. Because when guys go to jail, they do it. I'm sure women do too, but you know what I mean. But it's like it's always the natural next step. And I guess what it is for me is that it's so cliche. I'm more like, girl, tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Listen,
tell the truth, Chyna, damn it. Tell the truth, because you've been spreading it wide, girl. You've been spreading it wide. And
you'd be surprised how intimate people find words versus showing their body. Because if you say it, you actually have to embody what it actually takes. Showing their body to them is nothing. Telling the entire truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth is going to take more out of them. She's probably not at that stage yet. So I'm not saying no, because it does seem mighty convenient that all of this is happening now.
Right when all the debt pops up, girl. When all the debt pops up, when now we're recovering from the pandemic, in the sense that a lot of these guys don't have the money anymore. We're out in the real world now. So if they want to touch something, the ones that aren't socially awkward can get out and touch something, if you know what I mean. The other thing is, if Diamond Dave is still here,
he is.
we can talk about the live stream that he did. And this is why I say it's an economic thing, because Chyna also understands that for her to keep up with the AI sex girls that are about to come out, plus Chyna is this, I don't care how light she is, she's still this, y'all. So she's up against so much, right? She probably saw the writing on the wall and was like, look, if they putting faces on these fake bodies with these big old boobies, I got to do a lot to keep up with this crap. I don't really believe that there's anything as far as her kid is concerned, which is something she's saying, because there's too much out there now for her to really backtrack on that. It's like, sweetie, your kid is I think the youngest is like 10 or 11. It's like, sweetie, I'm not buying that one, because it's like you were out there doing it so much. Now you care about how the kids are going to take it and how their counterparts are going to take it. Those kids already go to prestigious schools. They know who you are, woman. That's never going to go away. So that part, I'm like, Chyna, stop. I don't believe that part, right?
Yeah.
So that's the part for me where I'm like, you're trying to game the system, which is okay because I think she's going to make a lot of money from it. So it's like,
If
but
she
I
plays it
guess,
right.
yes. And for me, I'm like, okay, as a regular schmegular, degular woman, how can I capitalize and do some shit like that? Because if I did something debaucherous, y'all would remind me from here to kingdom come, no matter how holy or sanctified I got. And if I got my doctorate, y'all wouldn't care. Y'all be like, remember that one time you busted it wide open?
Dropped it like it
Listen,
was hot.
no, I would be reminded all the time. So it's
Well,
like,
well, here's the thing. I think that there are going to be people who remind her all the time as
Of
well. So I
course.
will, I will,
Of course.
I will stand up for China right there. There will always be people who remind her of that as well.
Exactly.
I think that so I haven't seen her, Instagram stuff with, I know that she was doing something with the doctor, talk, and he was educating her, but doing it on camera and all of that stuff.
Right.
I still am not convinced that she has all of her ducks laid out to really capitalize on this. So, in the next couple of years will really show that. Does
Right.
she have the right? Did she learn the lessons that she needed to learn? Does she have the right team?
Right.
Does she have the right the right the right people that she's looking to? She's not going to be able to transition her entire community. And the OnlyFans money came from men. The stuff that you showed us tonight is stuff for women. Like all of the men aren't buying the makeup and the clothing. So ultimately, she's shifting herself to this new brand
Right.
and this new
The
image
paradigm.
and this, yes,
Mhm.
but she's not Candace Owens, right? So she's not going to be able to get that Fox News, Daily Wire, conservative money.
No.
She
No.
she'll never
no,
fit in there.
No.
She
no.
could become a pastor, but no, because
That's the angle I think
eh,
she's going to go for.
I don't think that's going to be lucrative for her. I think that there are
It's
some pastors that can really do lucrative stuff. I don't see her as that.
right.
I don't see it being lucrative for her. So the question ultimately, and this is why I'm not convinced, is I don't see like who is the natural target market that she's pursuing with this pivot that is
Exactly.
going to have a product lined up and who's going to be willing to give her money for that product. I don't
Mm.
see that there yet. So I
That hasn't been
I
really
agree
defined.
that there is a power to the pivot that she's doing. I
Right.
don't know if she has laid the foundation to capitalize on it.
Right.
Only time will tell with regards to that.
Yeah. That's not clearly
Yeah.
defined just yet.
Because if she had,
Mhm.
she would have had me as a business manager. We would have gone to Netflix or Amazon or someplace like that. We would have gotten a deal to do
Mhm.
like, this whole thing on like professionally, right?
Obviously.
Transformation. And then we would have had the TV show with the transformation. We would have had her product lines already set up. Like somebody needed to get on a whiteboard and
Hmm.
draw this out
Matt.
for her. And I don't know if I'm seeing that.
Yeah. And I think, let me see, y'all, if I found it, because they ain't going to believe me. So, look, so this is Lashed LLC. So I am confused by this because I want to know. It says that it's suspended by the federal or the franchise tax board in California. Angela R. White is the agent. This is from 2014 and it's been inactive since 2018. This happened during the time that she was under doing the lawsuit thing too. So, like I said, my guess is she might have been functioning illegally, or like I said, she didn't pay taxes or something happened there. So I feel like she's just in a lot of hot water right now. And what I wanted, I made some notes about the OnlyFans thing that I had to talk about this because she admitted, um, I'll see if I can find it, but she admitted in an article that she only made 1 million per year between 2020 and 2022.
I could definitely believe that. I don't believe she made
Yeah.
240 million. That I don't know how that rumor got started, but that just never sounded right to me. But
Yeah,
I believe she did make a million, but she lives in Calabasas. That's expensive as hell.
exactly.
You need 5 plus million
Mm.
a year in order to live there and be able to maneuver.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I think, like I said, we got to bring it into perspective. And like we said, boobs, you have to redo boobs they say 10 to 20 years, but you really should
Mhm.
do them about every 10 years. Fillers are about 4 to 6 months from what I understand. And it's just a lot to keep pumping into your body. So there's that. So I'm gonna
Mhm.
get off the business part about that. But as far as the OnlyFans thing goes, she says it's a dead end, and I agree, but it's only really a dead end because I think that what she's doing again is she keeps going into these industries where there's a low barrier of entry, number one. Number two, very low skilled professions. Each one she's been in is very low skilled. Now, the most skill is probably the pole dancing thing because I hear that that's very hard and you have to be agile. But like to get on TV and just pretend to be somebody, that's not hard. That's not hard. You know, so anyway, with the OnlyFans thing, the point I was trying to make was that there is only so far that you can go because think about what the guys are probably doing to your photos anyway. It's like, I don't want my only moneymaker to be guys laying on their backs looking at the phone doing God knows what. That's number one. That's the issue there. She also did admit that it is a dead end, so I'm proud of her for at least admitting that. But I looked into what the average income of an OnlyFans patron is. First of all, the average age is 35 to 45, which I found kind of shocking. Number two, average income is about 62,000. So what that says to me is that these are single men, for the most part, because if you're married, why are you on OnlyFans or like, you know what I mean? Like if
Oh, no,
if you're,
there are married men on OnlyFans. No,
I
no,
know.
no.
Okay,
The
so
pro- the proclivities of people are quite surprising.
but then when you think about it too, $62,000, right? They're
That's
going
above
on
average income.
and they're going on OnlyFans.
Mhm.
Men of means don't do things like
Lies you tell.
Yeah, I know, that's what I
that for
was
the most
thinking.
part. Like
They
and
no,
I'm not
no,
gonna say all
no,
of them.
they
I'm not gonna say
do.
all of them. Yes, but I don't think that that was her bread and butter. I think because again, I told y'all I'll be auditing HUD paperwork, and I have seen men that make $10 an hour with OnlyFans on their bank statements.
But that
So
doesn't mean the rich ones aren't doing it either.
Yeah,
I know, but they have access to something better than that.
but 62,000 is not a man of means. So,
No, that's what I'm saying.
a man of means is somebody who's pulling in, let's say,
150.
300,000 plus,
Right.
right?
That's what I'm saying. So she
Right.
was never going to be well off doing OnlyFans
Right, because she
ever.
wasn't pulling those kinds of men unless they were,
And
like
she was
really
having,
into that, really
yeah,
into her.
she was just having to do too much to where it's like it was just going to get more risque and more risque. Now,
Mhm.
the average pay for an OnlyFans girl is only about $150 per month. So, what really is happening, and she did mention it in another article too. I read so many of them, but she even admitted she was making less money. So she was like, look, this ain't working out because no matter how many fillers, no matter how much I plump this booty up, it ain't going down. Like the money ain't going up. So
Uh-huh.
she already saw the commodity. It's no more. Nobody, and I'm not gonna say nobody wants it. I'm just gonna say that it's not gonna make her rich based on the clientele. It's not gonna make her rich. So she would have had to probably go into femdom and all that other kind of stuff. But again, that could be considered seedy compared to what she was doing, right?
Mhm.
You don't
Mhm.
that's not a pivot going into that kind of stuff. It's just not. So my conclusion about as far as what I think is that she had no real solution for her family. China did not have an actual blueprint to play by. She still does not have a blueprint. And I think that this is a interesting pivot. I think she's going to be successful because she can get a book out of it and all kinds of stuff. However, I do think the Kardashians are not going to be a part of that, because unless they get something out of the deal, they are not going to allow her to use their name in any form of media whatsoever. So I do think that she does have to purify in order to even try her hand at anything, if I'm being honest, because she's literally been stripped of everything that could have made her a ton of money with very low effort. If that
Nobody can
makes
take away
sense.
your story. I'm sorry, I don't agree.
Oh no, they can. As far as the name goes, they can take that away. It's like because
That's
and
not what
like
I
I
said.
said, I think as far as, you have to really think about this, like how embarrassing is not the word. It's not embarrassing. That's not the word I'm looking for. It's something deeper. But it's like, how,
Demoralizing.
yes, is it that you own my child's name and everything? Like that's mine. Like, are you serious here? So I feel like also she is in this by herself to a certain degree, because you really don't hear about a team or anybody that's really helping her out. I'm sure somebody's there, but she's really out there trying to navigate this thing on her own in a lot of ways. And it's like, I see a young girl, like I said, that didn't have a plan, that had a certain set of skills, but nobody taught her how to effectively pivot. She doesn't have the support of the Kardashians. She just doesn't have like a viable skill. I'm sorry. Like I just don't believe she has it. And unfortunately, I don't know, y'all.
You
Oh
don't have a
God.
lot of hope for this girl. I'm sorry.
No, it's like, because I feel like,
But
but
there
it's like, but I know she can though. That's the thing. It's like, she's gonna be okay. It's just that I hope that the direction she's going in is genuine, because even Kanye did the God thing and everybody's stuck on that. And I'm like, do y'all forget Kanye hasn't spoken about God in I don't know how long? And everybody fell on that train. It was like, are y'all not seeing a pattern here? It's like when they fall out with the Kardashians, they turn to God. Either you change sexes or you go to God with the Kardashians when you fall
well
out. It's like, what
well
the hell?
at the end of the day, I understand you don't think anybody, as long as you're alive and breathing, can be redeemed. And if she gets the right people on her team and continues in the path that's actually genuine, because if
Mhm.
she's actually genuine, the genuineness will come through as far as her transformation is concerned. So
Mhm.
I don't think all hope is lost, and I'm not going to ever agree with you on that. I'm sorry.
Oh, I
Love
don't
you.
think it's lost. I think she'll backslide, but I don't think it's lost.
I think if she decides to
Mhm.
really make a change and really make a pivot, then she can definitely make headway with a lot of what she has going.
Mhm.
Diamond Dave said the target market probably for the clothing line and for the makeup is, he says, Black women over 30 who are looking to change their life. That could be part of the pivot. She
Mhm.
needs to go into for personal development space mixed in with
Mhm.
faith. That could definitely be a pivot for her. And if she
Yeah.
has the right team behind her, that could definitely take her much further than even the Kardashians thought it could.
Yeah, I
Right.
said that if she could figure out the way to be the next Iyanla, then that can work.
Or not necessarily Iyanla, but somewhere in
Well,
that,
yeah, because
yeah, in that
Iyanla is
vein.
about transformation.
Right.
True.
Iyanla does transformation of the mind. If Angela is able to figure out how to do transformation of the body, and some of the mental goes in
Oh
with it
man.
as well, then
Uh-huh.
yeah, I like, again, if I were her business manager, I'd be looking at that Iyanla
Right.
type of trend, because Dr. Phil just got off TV
I
after
know.
19 years. Like that kind of stuff has longevity, just talking to
Yep.
people and listening to their
Exactly.
problems, and
So
helping
true.
them change mentally and physically. All
Mhm.
of that stuff has longevity, but
I mean, she could
I
have.
I don't
Sorry, I'm
yeah,
sorry. Go ahead.
I
Go ahead.
I I would love to, if you ladies wouldn't mind, bring it back to the audience and
I
talk
was
about
just gonna say,
what can we as individual people take from this Blac Chyna issue that she has here. With regards to, like you called it, the power of the pivot.
hmm
I will go first. On my channel, I always talk to the ladies about always thinking about four things that you're going to have. You're going to have your technical skills, your soft skills, your
hmm
multicultural networks, not just Black people, but like all sorts of people that we know, as
Right.
well as your resources. I believe that God gives us all talents. And the first thing you need to do is you need to take an assessment of where you are right now, what skills you have, what talents you have, what networks you have, what resources you have, and where you want to be and what that gap is. Like, where are you deficient in order for you to get to whatever the next level is for you, the next milestone in not just your financial trajectory, but also in your mental trajectory as well.
yeah,
Um, and, we kind of made some assumptions tonight with regards to China
girl.
and
All my whole thing was assumptions.
was
I'm
assumptions.
very open. Y'all listen.
Well, Victoria did the research and she showed facts with regards to, like, her businesses and things like that.
Right.
We made assumptions as to where we think she's going, where she could go.
Right.
But I think that it's important for all of us to know that Mentor Shelley is very optimistic with regards to the fact that we're never completely down
No.
and out. That
hmm
No.
that as long as you have breath in your body, as my grandmother used to say to me,
Yeah.
and you can put your one foot,
In front of the other.
in front of the other, you
Yeah.
can make it. And I think that Blac Chyna is a testament to not giving up. She's had everything stripped from her, but imagine if 5 years from now, we come back on this platform and we say, remember we had that conversation 5 years ago? Boy, that Blac Chyna really pulled it out, you know. Or more importantly, you may be down and out right now, and you come back from 3 to 5 years from now and say,
Mm.
I was so down and out that night, but I came on a Friday night to this broadcast and I really pulled it out of the mud.
Yeah.
So
They gonna be
that's what
like,
I
don't
think.
tell Victoria nothing. She gonna judge the hell out of you. But look, I try no, but this is why I have to say these things out loud, because sometimes I have to like check my own judgments and my own
Intrinsic biases.
yeah, because I definitely have like biases. Because like I said, okay, I'm gonna be honest, like I don't care about girls spreading it wide open. I don't care about that. It's your body, your choice. Do what you do, sis. But it's like for me, I'm more like, don't uh damn it, y'all, what's the word I'm looking for? Don't patronize me. Don't play me for a fool, woman. Because unlike the general pop, I'm gonna go do research on you and I'm gonna see what's what. And again, I would probably do the same thing if I was in that situation. So I'm not gonna lie, like, oh, I would never do that. Yes, I probably would, y'all. Like if I knew that was my Hail Mary. But I think, Cherie, honestly, there's nothing I can really add to what you said, because I think that the power of the pivot is this to me. It means that you have to always be 10 steps ahead of yourself. You have to be 10 steps ahead of your friends in some ways, your job, your economic situation. It's like you always have to think, if this happens, what if? If this, what if this, what if? And kind of think about those things, because there's some areas in my life that I didn't quite plan out, and now I'm seeing it and I'm like, oh snap, I probably should have took some time and wrote that down, or talked to somebody to get a plan in motion about what if this happens or what if that happens. um so I think the power of the pivot in this case is that she literally is seeing the writing on the wall, and again, I'm proud of her for that, because she can see this is an actual dead end, and it's really a perpetual cycle, because like I said, she's going to have to go into the doctor's office, continuously get this crap in her face, there's a shelf life on that too, where she's going to start looking kind of crazy. And she said that was part of it too. She actually said she looked like what's his name in that movie Saw. She said I look like Jigsaw. She literally said that in an article. So even she understood she was morphing into something that wasn't going to be marketable. So I think that the Blac Chyna brand is going to continue to flourish. I do think that this doctorate from this unaccredited university is going to look like she went to Stanford to a lot of people. I do think that she's going to be able to become a public speaker. I do think she's going to be an author. I think she's going to be all of those things. So I did this live stream to point that out. I do think her pivot is going to be successful. I just needed people to see the other side of it, where it's like, okay, let's take what happened to China and say, all right, I might not have the most money. I might have a massive tax bill. My baby's mama might be giving me for child support. But look at here. I could pivot and I could do something else and I could change the whole thing and flip the script. It's possible. So that was really my point, even though it took me 1,000 years to get to it. It can happen with anybody, you guys. It's just all in how you do it. And you really have to have a plan for your life. This floating around, just doing stuff just for the hell of it, that's for the birds, you guys. Like, even when it comes to the sex work, you have to have a plan outside of that. Right? I told you about the girl that sells pheromones. Now she's a millionaire. She used to be a porn star.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, like, don't sleep on those porn stars. A lot of those women are very good businesswomen.
Well, yeah, they done the number one thing that a lot of us don't even have the nerve to do, for one. So
yeah,
I put them in the same category as the guys that go to jail and they're able to make tools and weird things in their cell. Like those women they have a certain
skill.
Yeah, like they're able to put things together that your average lay person can't do. So they're just misguided in a lot of ways. That's all.
Being in that type of business, it's kind of like how drug dealers can be redeemed, like how strippers can be redeemed, because there's a lot of old strippers that are in great positions now because they picked up business savvy along the way.
Yeah.
They picked up different skills along the way. And I think as we watch her journey, we hope she gets the right people in place so that this journey will be victorious in the end. And I will not ever not be the optimist that I was created to be. But I also want to say this. There's always going to be somebody that says, oh, but she's this and she's that and da, 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 da. She can never be. The only person that can determine who she becomes is her. The only person
I know.
that
And why you saying that? Let me get this girl her little flowers while you talking real good about her. Let me put her little pretty picture up here.
We want to make sure and she's a beautiful girl.
Yeah, she looks refined now.
Like, naturally,
she really does.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
she looks very refined.
Like, what made her think the other shit looked good? That's why I'm like, yo, you were gorgeous before.
There's self-work that she's probably going through right now and still needs to go through to process where she's coming from. Diamond Dave says, well, fact, she's gonna have to get broke on. None of the Kardashian daughters are renegades. They follow instructions and break themselves. Because none of them would be in the positions they're in now if it wasn't for their mama.
If the mama's it.
The mom is the business mastermind behind all of what they have done.
I got one better. They wouldn't be where they are right now if Robert stayed alive. How about that? I don't think Robert would have let that go down.
He wouldn't have let that go down. He wouldn't have let Kim do that sex tape. Absolutely not.
Okay, can we do this real quick, ladies? Because you guys know I'm terrible at comments. I need to pay somebody to crack a whip. I'm gonna go through each one of these. And sorry, guys, if you're gone because you think I ignore you. I'm just scatterbrained. That's all. So okay, salute to the Kardashians for the play. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Tiger wouldn't have been an option. That was to somebody that said Tiger being the baby's daddy. Like, ew, why? You know? And I agree. They won't exactly. That's what I'm saying. She's played that wrong.
She's not married. She wasn't married to Rob, so of course they wouldn't let her use the name. They've trademarked that name up, down, sideways, and forward.
And I will. interesting thing about the trademark thing, guys, when you
Mhm.
go for a trademark, and I'm speaking from experience without getting too deep into it, there, like, as soon as I went for a trademark, somebody popped up in my email and was like, excuse me. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah.
say. That's all I'm gonna say because I don't know how far it's gonna go. But I was like, yeah, and
Well,
and
it's automatically on record whenever
right.
you
I'm
file
like,
for a
bro,
trademark. Yeah.
I'll see you in 8 months, bro. I don't know. We'll
Mhm.
just let's throw it at the wall and see if it sticks, huh?
Mhm.
But like, nah, you don't back down when people do that to you guys
Oh,
because
absolutely not.
any
I
because
know
there's
somebody who went against HBO for a trademark. So,
oh wow.
mhm.
And
Oh,
when you think about it, like, okay, guys, really, when you and this is a great little thing to kind of talk about really quick, but it's like when you go into trademarking, like at the end of the day, anybody can do it. Like Cherie said, it's like
Mhm.
$280. You can go
Mhm.
online and just,
Shape.
as long as you have your paperwork in order, you can
Mhm.
get it done. But I'm saying be ready for somebody to come out of the cut and say, excuse me, here's my trademark information. And there are literally trademark lawyers. That's all they do. They just get paid to
Mhm.
fish, fish, fish and try to find it and then slap you with a cease and desist. That's all they get paid to do.
Mhm.
So, okay, like I said, that's all I'm gonna say. But
I,
Mhm.
I have,
even regular people go through it too, y'all. So
of
Yeah.
course, the
Yeah.
whole. I don't know if you guys heard about Dr. Boyce Watkins situation where some of his branding stuff got
Yes.
trademarked in
Yes.
public, and it was
Yes.
like three of his brand names that he'd been
Mhm.
using for over
For
10 years
years.
got
oh
Yes.
trademarked.
God.
When I
And
say paperwork, I don't just mean marriage, ladies and gentlemen.
yes,
I'm
You
please,
telling
know, I say
you.
please
paperwork. Get your
emphasize that.
paperwork together.
Yep,
Yes.
Because even yeah,
yep, that makes a huge
y'all,
difference.
because people really be thinking all you need to do out here is start an LLC. I'm like,
No,
no,
no, you got to
no.
protect your brand. Yes.
Okay. Like, y'all, just because we ain't sitting up here famous don't mean we ain't doing stuff in the background.
Hmm.
Please.
Let's just
I,
put it
I
to
give you I
go
give
ahead.
you two words: Blue Ivy. Beyonce and Jay-Z's daughter, when she was born, they tried to trademark the name, and lo and behold, some
Betty
woman
White.
up in Connecticut already owned the trademark. They fought her and fought her and fought. It didn't matter how powerful they were.
There you go.
She kept that trademark.
She had the
It's
paperwork.
whomever
Yes.
it's whomever gets to the trademark office first, unless it's like an already super popular person that's out there. You like,
Mhm.
you can't trademark Drake's name. Like he's already out there,
Or Michael
But
Jackson. It's like,
or
come on,
Michael
guys.
Jackson or
Like,
something.
come on.
Yeah.
You know?
But as long as like an underground thing, even Passport Bros was recently trademarked.
Mhm. And it
Yes.
makes total sense. But this is what okay, this is really also another point we're trying to make here, you guys. The reason I keep harping on the fact that this young lady was not prepared and she was playing regular games, like she was doing something that like one of your homegirls would do, right? Like, oh girl,
Mhm.
I'm gonna have a baby, da, 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 da. Instead of really, going to the drawing board and saying, okay, this could literally be the most lucrative decision I make in my life, not just for me, but this is a wealth play. This is not just a quick money grab like getting on a pole. This is literally like, I need to figure out how to capitalize on this the best I can. There is nothing wrong with having that attitude if you are going to have a child with somebody, if you are going to get married with them, if you're going to go into business with them. If there is a contract involved, I'm sorry, y'all, you're in business, okay?
Mhm.
You're in business. There's a reason your child has a birth certificate. That child don't just belong to you. Sorry to say, your child belongs to the state too. Why do you think they can take them away?
Mhm.
So you are in contracts in every facet of your life. So that's why, again, I'm going to say this and be done. I'm going to keep going with the comments. When we have people that say, oh, I'm going to have a baby, but I'm not going to get married. Okay. But
Play
you
with it
better
if you
be
want to.
right. I'm like, go ahead and play stupid games and win stupid prizes. Let this case study show you why you don't do that. Let what Kanye West is going through show you why you actually need to have things in writing, whether you marry the person or not. The minute you start mixing bodily fluids and stuff, sorry, y'all. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
So I say to the ladies on my channel that the biggest financial decision you will ever make in your life is who you have children with.
True.
It's actually even more important than who you marry, because if
Mm.
you marry a man, It doesn't work out. You don't have kids. Yeah, it may take you a couple of years to rebuild, but it's
Mm.
okay. The
Yeah.
minute you have a baby by a
Permanent.
man, the biggest financial decision you will make. Does he have resources? Does he not? Does he come from an intact family that can help you raise that child as a
Yes.
nepo baby? Can he even pay child support, or is it
Mm.
all on you? I mean, the biggest financial decision. That is why we, as women, need to guard our wombs like our lives depend on it,
Okay.
especially with Roe being overturned. And some of you live in states where you can't even travel to another state to get it taken care of.
Wow.
So just think about what I'm saying with regards to that.
Mhm.
I wouldn't be playing with that, you know,
You can't afford to.
you can't afford to. And men, for the most part, I like the men, but they don't care. Like they're not on the hook for that. You as a woman are. So it's nice
Yeah.
that I'm gonna be messy on the channel tonight here, right? Because I can be messy on Victoria's channel. Ladies, there are women on social media trying to tell you it's 50-50. Why didn't he pull out? Why didn't he do this? Why didn't he do that? I am here to tell you that you have the ability to have 100% control over if you get pregnant and who impregnates you. Why would you want to give 50% of that up to somebody else? That doesn't make sense. Do not do it. You take 100% control over that because it's your financial future and that child's financial future that is at risk if you flub up that decision.
It's called personal responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, they get mad when you start talking about that now. And that's why I think, okay, if I
I'm
am being completely honest here, I do sometimes take offense to people that inadvertently and advertently lead people astray. And I think that there were so many girls that were influenced by China. I already said Amanda Bynes pierced her dang face. Amanda Bynes is probably the daughter of a wasp, but she's over here modeling
She
herself
is the daughter
after.
of a wasp.
Well, there you go. So she out here, anyway. So what I'm saying is that when girls are led astray like that, because obviously they don't have the right network either, but then to just be like, all right, well, now I found the Lord, so I'm gonna scrap it all. I'm just gonna delete my social media. Now I'm pure. Now I'm pure, guys. Sorry. You know, we had the story about the girl that went to Mexico. There's a lot of girls that are dying to look like women that look like Blac Chyna. And it's to me, it's we are in a pathetic part of our generation. We're just in a pathetic part of life in certain areas. So that was the other part that kind of bothered me about what she's doing, because it's like, when it comes to God, everybody has their own way of dealing with it. But I feel that when it's commoditized, when it's publicized, when you're making money off of it, there's something off-putting about that. But then I can't blame her because she's an entertainer.
well,
So,
time will
and it's
tell.
almost like a resume. It almost is like a resume. So that in that respect, I can kind of pull back and say, well, okay, how would she really showcase that she's a different person? She kind of has to publicize it. So
Only
I
time will
I get
tell,
that.
though. And only
Yeah.
time will tell. We don't know for sure. Only time will tell if this transformation is going to stick or not. So,
Okay, so let's do this, and then I'm gonna cut y'all loose. I'm gonna try to get through as fast as I can. I'm gonna do these comments and give your input as we go, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay. Okay. So uh we'll start here. Okay. I don't think it had anything to do with depression. Is he mean the change? Oh, talking about
mhm,
Rob, I'm
I
sure.
think you're talking about
mhm,
Rob.
Oh, well, listen, I don't
okay.
question men. If a man says that, then there's got to be some merit to what he's saying. I'm not going to argue with
Mhm,
him on that.
mhm.
Leave Chloe alone, but she do look. Y'all listen, and black people could tell when there's some black in them. I don't see that in Chloe.
I
To
don't see
me,
that either.
she looks like a white
I
girl
do.
to me, and I'm like, y'all, she's just
She was just always the odd sister, like her original
Yeah,
face, her original body.
that's
Yeah.
it.
Hmm.
I think there's a little drop of chocolate in there. That's just my opinion. But go ahead.
Hmm.
Okay, and again, and I guess like for them saying Rob is a trick, I do believe Rob is a trick. However, Rob is a protected trick. He is not like these guys that hop online that are disgruntled now and get upset. He's not one of those. He's a guy that has a ton of women that are going to protect him because
Hmm.
his dad's not here. So we don't know what happened behind the scenes there. They may have some kind of vow to take care of him for the rest of his life and make sure he's protected from all scallywags.
But that's a
So,
family. They're gonna do that anyway.
Hmm.
well, I will tell you so. Ooh, let me say it, but let me
Uh-uh.
say it, but not say it. Every family's different
Of course.
because I have had family members where I saw they were with the wrong person and they saw I was with the wrong person. But because of whatever our familial relationships are, they never felt the need to actually speak up and say something. They didn't say anything until it was all over. And they're like, oh, well, I meant to tell you. And it's like, that's the kind of relationship I don't need. How about that? I need you to tell me, I need you to punch me in the stomach. It's okay. And I think Rob might actually have that. But
Hmm.
Oh,
not
Lord.
before that baby was born and not before they made a business move. So, because they knew they was gonna do that from the minute she said she was pregnant. I'm positive that they had already put that together. Chris overprotective, but ain't lace Rob. She didn't lace Rob properly. Yeah, okay. Chris is a trick. Okay, like I said, we keep throwing this word around, but them is some rich ass tricks. So let them be tricks because they aren't on this purification campaign. They don't have to do it. So they might be tricks, but they don't have to do what China's doing. China's literally like she's going for broke right now, you know?
Hmm.
And I'm not saying it like it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, guys, she's going for broke. You have to admit that. It's like
Hmm.
praise the Lord, but she's going for broke. I would have been sitting around them with a notepad. Exact girl, putting
Chris
notes all up
apparently,
in.
yeah, Chris apparently has a master class, an official master class under
Y'all need to be
Oprah's thing.
listening.
So
Shoot. I
I
would have
might
been
go and get Chris's master class someday.
I'd have been in the master class before that she created it. It'd be like,
Hmm.
you have all this
No.
business happening. I don't suck up nothing. Lies you tell.
Listen, but we have to also recognize that certain things that work for them do not work for us. I would listen to Oprah before I would listen to Chris because Chris will have me out there spreading my booty cheeks, and Oprah will have me using my voice.
Because she did it to her daughter, she'll do
There
it
you
to you.
go. But Shelly, promise me that you'll stay on so we could talk about that. I know Cherie might jump out on us, but I think that Mentor Shelly has a bombshell that I think a lot of people are going to be like, what the heck?
Oh,
So
then I want to hear that.
I know. Okay, so let me get
I'm
through these. Let me get
invested.
okay.
Yeah. So
So
hurry up.
all right. So but yes, but like I said, she didn't understand the power of being in the vicinity of, dare I say, ooh, I can't say greatness, but
No,
that yeah,
business
that's
savvy.
Business
yeah, because I
Business
was
savvy.
like,
savvy.
greatness
Yeah.
ain't the right word. Yeah, even I
Hmm.
was like,
No.
ooh. Um, okay, the game Chris has cost money. She's breaking yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
And I will say this also. Let's not act as if America's good guy, Ryan Seacrest, is not a part of this because the only reason I know this is because I talk about how I was on a little TV show before. Ryan Seacrest was the producer of the show that I was on. So I was literally from the audition day all the way up until the day I got in that house and saw how reality TV really works. I was like, oh shit. Never saw Ryan Seacrest a day in my life. Now I did see the other producer that was in the show, but he is a business mastermind. So I think that he is literally the counterpart to Chris Jenner. He is not innocent in all of this. So I do think that
No, it's
he
not.
just plays the back and then he comes out and plays the good guy like he always does. But but I'm saying that to respond to Dave. It's like, yes, she did, but I also think that there are other players in the background. And I only
Of
know
course.
that because I saw a little bit of that. I didn't see, it wasn't that deep, y'all, but I was like, oh, I see what Ryan Seacrest doing. He got all of these shows under his belt. That mother, runs the E network as quiet as it's kept. Let's be real.
True.
Okay, I'm LA through and through in some ways, and it's like, damn. That's the only reason I never really tried to break into Hollywood, because it's like I would have had to do some shit. So okay,
Leave
so
that alone. Leave
right,
that
I'm like,
alone.
let me just not say nothing. Okay, so I heard the community was starting a PE firm, a
Mm-hmm.
PE
Private equity.
Oh, okay. Ooh, listen, I should know that. The
Mhm.
dude she is allegedly partnered with is heavy. Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
And listen, Kim is also wasn't she trying to be a lawyer
Mhm.
and
She
getting
was
black
one of
dudes
them.
out of jail? That's why I said China went up against a monster. Like this family is a machine. She should have just got in there and played her part. Sorry. Okay. AM1. Hey, he's probably gone. I know, because I just be going on and on. Oh my gosh. Okay. Hey, you know what?
Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Don't stay there. Please keep it moving. We got other comments.
But
Please. No. Don't even. Keep it moving.
okay, but I'll take
Resist.
it off. I will take it off. But
Thank you.
Corinne Steffens
Okay.
had
We're
a
not
head
talking about her
doctorate,
either.
but
Okay.
she kind of pivoted because she was dating Bill Maher, and or she might still be. I don't know, but he was
Not anymore.
he was head over heels for her. Now that's
Mhm.
one I would have probably sunk my teeth into that one, because that could make you wealthy.
Yeah, she may still be getting money from Bill.
Yeah.
Keisha K.O. is married to Gucci Mane.
Gucci Mane, thank
Right.
you. But yeah, so like I said, but she, she started her lipstick business and then pivoted from there,
Triple that money.
She was right there. Her kept her in a larger partnership. Exactly.
Mhm.
Thank you, Dave. That's the whole point I'm trying to make. She had to streamline her look because bubbly and voluptuous, y'all got to understand that's a phase. And I do think that the 1990s Cindy Crawford, Claudia Schiffer, Naomi Campbell, I do think that that's going to make a comeback, because if you look at some of
Already
these,
has.
oh God, and
Come back.
I
Yes.
hate it, but I hate to say it, because when that was the look, people had something to say. Well, maybe more for Kate Moss, is that her name? Because she was a waif, but I think but then she's literally a spinoff of Twiggy. So if you really go back in fashion and stuff, you'll find that these things just, it's cyclical. But this is becoming so cartoonish that she had to pivot. She had to. She's gonna look a mess at 60 if she kept all that stuff. But yeah, her look was very, it's not marketable.
It attracted a certain type of person. Yes.
Yeah. So that was really it. Exactly. And honestly, they're gonna forget about her until her next project comes out. Like whatever the TV show is or the role she gets, that's because she's still in transition to Angela White. And it's gonna be hard for her to even shake the Blac Chyna moniker. It's gonna be hard, she's gonna have to do some serious PR, and really beat it into our skulls. And that is why Kris Jenner would have been a great role model for her.
That's not a possibility for her. That relationship is probably dead and broken. They probably hate her.
Yeah. I know about the last person, however, I knew she was not going to be in the show. Yeah, exactly. So, but that's even a money grab too, because I've talked to somebody during a credit consultation that had a nail shop, and the way it worked is, the girls come in, the owner gets a cut of everything that they do. So she could have been pulling in some decent money. Well, Coach Stormy could pull a turnaround.
I commented on this. Coach Stormy didn't pull a turnaround.
No, she didn't pull a turnaround.
Yeah, because I'm like,
I'm sorry, she's still ghetto.
Yeah, and she's still, and honestly,
and not only that, she's a grifter.
I was gonna say that too, because a lot of people don't even realize that she was running with Tony Robbins. Like people are like, they didn't even know that, and I'm like, y'all,
I didn't know that.
Who do you think put her on? It was Tony Robbins. Like that was where she really became.
Well, that just gives me a new low for Tony Robbins then.
No, not necessarily. No.
Shelly is so
I'm coming from a multi-level marketing place now.
Okay, so what do you say about that?
She got her come up in artists.
What's that?
About 10, 15 years ago with the Body Magics and the and some of the health products. And she branched off to Total Life Changes with her own products. Um, Stormy was in the strip club from she was 13. So her background is worse than Chyna's. And as much as she's still very rough around the edges, but for somebody to have that kind of rough beginning, because she talks about that all the time, the fact that she had to do that to pay the light because her mother couldn't do it. Had children very young. I'm not sitting up here trying to, glamorize that life, but she's been under Tony Robbins' tutelage. It ain't just now. It's been for years.
That's what I'm saying. And
but
nobody.
Now, but because she was in that space, unlike Chyna, she picked up some things. As much as people say Stormy can sell ice to Eskimos if she chooses to do so. She has skills.
Would you say that? Would you say that a lot of women have a misunderstanding of what get the bag actually means? Because no. I think that Stormy knows how to get that bag. Chyna does not.
That's why I said, unlike Blac Chyna, unlike Angela, I'm gonna get.
You're so respectful.
Listen,
it's your HR self. Look at you.
I'm an HR career coach. I have to be.
Better version of yourself. I got you, girl.
There you go. I believe in that wholeheartedly. That's not just something I say.
Yeah.
But with her, even then, and you talk to Stormy one-on-one when there's no camera, she's not that aggressive as she comes across when the camera's on. Because I've actually met her in person when I was in Artist, when she was a top recruiter.
Mm-hmm.
What I will say, she was in that network marketing company, and she's been with network marketing company ever since.
Mm-hmm.
What she does know how to do is sell you. She could sell this pen to somebody that has a pen company. She has that skill, and if you have that skill, you will never be broke.
Like I said, Chyna ain't got it. Sorry to
say. That's what I said. If somebody can, that's what I said. If she has the right team behind her and she gets the right skills,
mm-hmm.
it makes all the difference in the world. Go ahead.
That's a good one. Put her on Dancing with the Stars. But honestly, she couldn't go on with all that booty. That wasn't gonna work. But I could be wrong. How y'all? I don't even be seeing y'all typing while you all up in the comments. Oh, okay. I think this is the first time we're seeing the long-term career trajectory. Exactly. That's exactly what you're seeing. But you're seeing one that had access and she screwed it up. So that's really what it is. Yeah. Okay. So you guys said that she'll be the next Iyanla. Okay. GC got a lot to say. GC should have came up on the panel. Okay. Until she's ready to get instructions. That's kind of what I was getting at. GC, I think we're on the same wavelength in a certain way, because I'm like, I still think whoever's guiding her, she's going to have to get with a really good, image coach. You know what I mean? Because even going the Christian route, let's have a real conversation real quick. She is still only going to be marketable to a certain demographic. She's still not that international or that she's not crossing over is the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, she needs etiquette classes. She needs diction
she
classes.
Needs self-development.
And
overall.
Yes.
Exactly.
You need self-development.
That's where I was saying that your technical skills and your soft skills come into place. That soft skills, and there's like a list of them that I've pulled together on my channel.
Right.
All of them are important.
Yeah. Got you.
Yeah, she's not gonna be able to cross over.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. And okay, that's probably part of what it is that is seeming disingenuous to me, because the order of operations is not accurate. It's like, no, you're kind of supposed to just go behind the scenes and then share all of this as part of the chronicle that you're going to sell to the public. You are not supposed to be showing all of this right now. She needs to pull back, put it in a package, then market it. You see what I'm saying? So hopefully that's what somebody's going to get to her quick enough to tell her. She needs to stop exposing everything, because we don't need to see it right now. We're
dealing with a millennial here. Y'all love
That
to
part
show
too.
y'all have instead of doing what Gen Xers would do, which is exactly the play you just described.
Right. Because I'm
Y'all
like,
millennials love to show everything on the internet.
girl, you
So
ain't never lied. It's because that's my thing. I'm like, boo, you could have packaged this and sold it. What are you doing? So that's how I know she's not.
what? Keep come on. Thank you. Skills
That's
can be learned.
this
Skills can
this
be
is
learned.
right, but I'm just like, damn, I hope somebody does see it, and I think they are. Somebody's gonna see it and scoop her up if they haven't already, because she did the interview with Forbes, so I think somebody's finally got a hold of her, so that's
Right.
good. Okay.
Yeah, we did talk about that.
And that was my point. This is her demographic, so she still is going to hit a ceiling, is what I'm saying. So it's like, you know, I'm looking for the crossover. I'm going to pray for the crossover. That's what I want to see, because that's where the real wealth is going to happen. Right? Because
This is an
she taught us.
opportunity if she were able to get on Oprah,
Yes.
like a Soul Sunday or something like that. But when
Yeah.
she gets on Oprah, she's got to be ready to perform. And when I say perform, I mean capture that market
Mhm.
of that 30-something-year-old that is looking to transform. She's not there yet, though.
No, it's going to take
Dave,
some work.
Dave's hitting on a
Mhm.
point again. See how y'all come in my chat and just articulate everything I'm trying to say tonight. Okay, look. But that was my whole point. She's of the idea and of the belief she don't need no instruction. She thinks she
Mhm.
knows what she's doing. And that's
Mhm.
why she continuously hit walls. But I think she's learning, which is great. Right? Okay. They do, because the Kardashians have so much market share in the entertainment world. It's like, again, God is literally the only place she could have ran to, because they have their hand in everything. And
Yeah,
it's
I don't
not,
think she necessarily needs to make amends with the Kardashians. Plus, we know that that's not going to
Not
happen.
going to
no,
happen.
no.
I think that she can take the lessons because Jordan, what's that girl? Jordan and the other black
The
girl that
twins.
went up against the Kardashians,
The
they're
twins.
doing
I don't know
okay.
the other one.
The twins
Oh, they did?
The
I didn't know
twins,
that.
yeah.
that were
And then
around
there
the
was, yeah,
early
Oh,
part.
there was
wow.
somebody else. There was an article recently talking about the women who went against the Kardashians and came out on top and unscathed. It was
I see.
Jordan. They didn't talk about the twins. They talked about somebody else that had a bad falling out with them.
Experience with them.
So,
Okay.
I
yeah.
think
Wow.
Jordan didn't do anything didn't do anything so awful for her to even be in that position. But
Yeah, and and she has Jordan had I think her father is not Quincy Jones, but some
yeah,
powerful producer or something like that. So
she's in the
Jordan,
network anyway.
yeah,
Yeah, and
they
people
couldn't
forget
just
that
kick
part.
Jordan out. Yeah.
Right.
And Blac Chyna, actually, I don't think that her Tokyo Tony, if you listen to her, her dad is just, oh, he's a genius, musical genius. So Blac Chyna's comes from an entertainment family, so to speak, because I guess her grandfather is his name is DC something, but he's a famous, semi-famous drummer, I guess. And he's
Oh,
always been in the music industry. So Tokyo Tony made it very clear she grew up around Hollywood stars, and it's like, okay, girl, but y'all became strippers, okay. So,
clearly
so
there was a fallout there somewhere.
right, girl. Just if you watch that interview,
Please.
okay. So, Kris Jenner is sending her own kids. I don't really think she cares about Blac Chyna at all. If she's not coming to them ready to follow, yeah, exactly, yeah. We know that. But that's in any big money situation, so it is what it
Right.
is. Why do you think Markle and what's his name are flailing in the wind over there? It's like, you know, um, that's a program they didn't fit into. So yeah, I think they're done with her anyway. It is what it is. She has to see him because of the kids, but as far as business, I don't think you're going to see that for a little while. But if it's lucrative, they'll do it. I think. You're struggling. Yeah, because I think that they could have played that, but I think because of the violence thing, they will have to jump through a lot of hoops to end up getting Rob to have 100%. And like I said, I think Rob is still off a little bit. So I don't think the 100% is going to ever work for him, because something is off about him when you really look at him. Oh God, no way.
Yeah, she does have her own church.
Beyonce has her
Hmm.
own. Keep it moving.
Yeah,
This is
so what
exactly why, y'all. I don't be buying the
they do it
cosplay.
they do it allegedly for tax evasion.
Okay, that makes sense. I can see that. Okay,
Keep misusing nonprofit. What keep going? You were saying.
girl, listen. Okay, exactly. There are no renegades in that group, and everybody's like, they're bosses, they're this, they're that. No, they're not. No, they're not. None of them work independently. None
They
of them.
follow instructions. Keep it moving.
Exactly. And China was a renegade. You can't do that. And that's another thing that I think for us, a lot of, I don't know about you ladies, because everybody grew up in a different atmosphere, but I grew up in a family of renegades, and I still struggle with that to this day because of that. So it does not serve you women. I'm going to put a PSA out there to all the single moms. It doesn't serve you to make your daughters believe that they can just be these strong, independent women out in the world that don't need nobody. Because even to make money, you need a network. So please stop telling your daughters that. You're screwing a lot of us up. So anyway, continuing.
Okay, public service announcement. Got
I'm
it.
just saying, because they be all, no, stop that. Please stop, because it doesn't work. Okay, here's another word. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to finish the comments. They were coming back to that because I want Shelly to drop her bomb. Okay. So it's the same for men. Does she come from an intact family, or is she a second generation stripper? China is a second generation stripper. That's really what this is. And like I said, watch the video with Tokyo Tony. I'm not going to show it just because I kind of thought about it, and that channel's kind of big and they might give me for copyright. So I'm not going to show it. But they're
Because they thought it was going to be for and giggles and didn't think a child was going to come out of it.
They did not think Rob was dumb enough to. Never mind. I was going to say
Anyway,
something. I was going to say something very
Don't
vulgar.
do it. Resist the urge.
They
Pull
did
it
not know
back.
they didn't know their brother was that dumb, and I can attest to that.
This
Sometimes
is
we
why
don't.
this is why I'm like, he would have been dumb enough to go to the courthouse with her or go to Vegas and get married really quick. Like, she didn't play that right.
No, she played it like a dumbass.
All
But I
they
think
would have, oh, I'm going to
I'm
Vegas. Next
sorry.
thing you know, boom, we're married.
No, because I'll be sitting here thinking like, okay, have I ever had a setup like that where I could have just been, and I do think about it. I'm not going to say like the total specifics of it, but I will say this. Damn, how do I say this without sounding crazy? Okay, look.
Too late for that.
Every now and then, women, you will get approached with, you will get a proposition. And if you are stuck in your independent woman thing, you will literally walk away from some of the best opportunities in your life. Okay. I did that once. I'm not going to get really into it, but I had somebody offer me a lot. And I was just like, oh, and I don't mean money, y'all. Let me clean that up. But this person was going to give me access to certain things. And I was like, I could do my stuff myself. I don't need you. Ugh. Looking back, I'm like, oh, I probably should have took that deal because,
Slap yourself. Uh-huh.
Right. But I talked to independent women, who are now married and not independent anymore. So that's what I'm saying. It's like people need channels like this, like Black Women Making Money, like Mentor Shelly. Me, take me with a grain of salt because I have you all over the place. But I think that had I been taught differently, I probably would have taken that deal. Now, there were some caveats, but looking back, I'm like, shit, I could have put up with that. That's cool,
See, you learned from that experience, and so can Angela. Go ahead.
Girl, I didn't publicize it though. Shit. Okay, so this is the last one, and then we're gonna pivot back up because I want Shelly to drop her bomb, and then we'll be done. All right,
the bomb. Okay.
Thank you, Cherie, for staying on because I didn't think we were gonna go this long, but we're gonna wrap
I'm curious, but I am dead tired.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's like, come on now. Okay, showing support for you, ladies. Honestly, y'all, and listen, I ain't one to ask for money, but y'all should have been super chatting tonight. I'm gonna get better at that. Because somebody in the chat told me I need to start letting y'all know. You need to pay me for my energy and my time. Okay.
Oh Lord.
Look. Okay. Mentor Shelly, I almost feel like I want to give you the floor on this one.
Oh Jesus. Put me on the
So,
spot, why don't you?
can you?
Lord. Full screen, huh? All right.
Okay.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
do you want us all to be up there with you?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Jeez. Put me on
Wait,
blast, why don't you?
no, hold
Lord
on.
have mercy.
Wait, how do I do it now? Hold on.
Oh Lord. Handle your
Girl,
business.
because I thought you was ready to.
Handle your business.
Okay, hold on. Let me take you down. I'm gonna take everybody down, and I'm gonna put us all back on. Hold on. Let me see. Oh shit, that didn't do
Oh,
it.
thank you, Selfish Love, for the super chat.
There we
Thank
go.
you.
Thank you, Selfish Love.
All
Right? I
right. See, there
mean,
you
come
go.
on. 3 Black women making money, But like I said, y'all, like,
Go ahead.
okay. Anyway, thank you. My
Yeah,
bell is over there.
yes, tell us, Shelly.
Okay, so now we're back.
Tell
So
me
let me
what.
get Dave back on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I was talking to Mentor Shelly, and I was, talking to her about like the sex tape thing and with the Kardashians and Ray J and how Kim was able to pivot and all this other stuff. And she told me that the Kardashian China beef is not the only beef that's actually happening in the entertainment business. So I want you to drop this. And guys in the chat, tell us if you've ever heard of this one.
You're talking about the fact that the first couple of businesses that those Kardashians started was used, was done, but with stolen money from Brandy, because she was
Okay, I
her
knew about that.
stylist at the
Mm-hmm.
time.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
look,
I
Yes, I knew
I did
about
not
that.
yeah
know.
Yes,
yeah because
yes.
I what first of all, I was never a fan of the Kardashians. That's not a secret. But I've always been a fan of Brandy because she was at my grad night, to show you how long. Yes, I don't. Yes, I'm a Gen Xer for sure. But you stole, and I don't mean a little bit money. I don't mean no little $5, $6, $7,000. You're talking about 30, 40, 50, 100,000 plus dollars. They don't want to talk about that because that will ruin their reputation. That was before anybody knew who the heck they were. And then you signed a deal with Ray J and then used his name, drag his name through the mud like he was the one that put that tape out when you both sat down and signed paperwork. It wasn't allegedly either.
Wait, sign paperwork for what exactly? For
for
everybody.
the
the tape.
And did a second
And
one.
her mama was sitting there too when they signed the contract.
Yes, and her mama watched them as they were doing it.
Thank you. And
Yes.
chose the clips that were going to be
Wait,
Yes.
doing what?
And then
doing
they did
what?
doing it.
it with Ray J. Yes, ma'am. She was the one that picked. I didn't even get that far into it with you. That picked,
Yes.
that picked out what scenes were going to
Mhm.
be publicized on this supposed website and signed contracts with some mama sitting right here.
Yes.
No.
And then
So
did a
please.
second tape because they were concerned that the lighting wasn't good for the first tape. And yes.
Exactly. And so, okay, well, you use this firm and use it. Yes, her mother was in the mix of all of it. So
How
That
dare
is
you keep that from me? I'm having
disgusting.
a genuine response.
So miss me with the BS. Oh, they're holier. They're now trying to make it seem like they're above it all. When you was ready to go in the gutter, and then completely tarnish Ray J's name for however many years till he got tired of it and said, "Okay, well, this is the truth," and dropped it on you. And he didn't even mention the fact that they stole more than $100,000 from Brandy to start the two loose stores they had.
To start the
way
stores
back.
they had. Yep. To buy the
Okay.
inventory.
No
Thank you very
way.
much.
Mhm.
Way.
Yeah.
So miss me
Yeah.
with the foolishness. Yes, your mother is the business savvy, but you should have been telling your children not to steal from people. You should have started with that. So
But they wouldn't be where they are today without all of that. So
Exactly.
if you look at the most powerful families that are out there, the Kennedys, I can only think of the Kennedys right now, but I'm sure there are others. They all start off with some form of organized crime.
Thank
Weren't
you.
they bootleggers?
They were bootleggers, yeah, and they were the mob.
The
They were the Irish mob back in the day, the Kennedys.
Thank
But
you.
yeah, like the most powerful, you know, the most powerful families all come from seedy backgrounds.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Trump's
Now, how
family
did
comes from seedy
she?
backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
What's his face? Chase Manhattan come from seedy backgrounds.
Mhm.
A lot of them.
Yeah,
Don't
they
don't think
do.
for 1 second they're above board and they're
No, they
in this
aren't.
network. No, because they were part of organized crime
Yeah.
before they became legitimate. So
It's
miss
the
them with
first
suspicion.
generation that's organized crime, and then the second generation, they take that money and they put their kids into Harvard, Yale. This is
Yeah,
the game, this is the play, and
they
they get their
legitimize it.
kids, yeah, they get their
Yeah.
kids in a certain inner circle that then legitimizes them, and by the time you've got the third generation, they're considered quote unquote old money.
Right. Dave
Holy
knows what's going on.
smokes.
Dave knows
Mhm.
exactly what's going on.
I know.
Exactly. You
That's why I
can't
was wondering if
release
he was
it.
still here.
Yeah,
Dave,
you can't
you should
release it
honestly
without.
look, honestly,
Exactly.
Dave needs to make a cameo because
Drop the link
Lord.
then for Dave if he
Dave,
wants to
For
come
real.
on.
Would you come on? I'm gonna drop the link
Like
if you'll come on.
seriously.
Or honestly, anybody that wants to.
Yeah,
You don't
like
have to
you
get on
can't
camera or
release it
nothing.
without a signed consent. So
Yeah, they had
basically,
all
like
that.
you're so above board and you're so innocent and all these things. No,
No,
come
no.
Well,
on.
There's a
you
woman
guys
named
know what that
April.
is.
Yeah, there's a woman named April Butcher that really follows the Kardashians pretty heavily.
Mhm.
And she, if you want to know like the business aspect of everything that they do, all the behind the scenes stuff, she's like the journalist that has been following them and breaking down everything that they've been doing for
Mhm.
years. So,
I can't believe I didn't know that other part, Shelly.
oh yes,
Wow. I didn't know she was that
yes.
gross. Oh
Oh,
my
They are
God.
grimy. They are grimy. Yeah, they
Dark and
absolutely
Lovely.
are.
Dark and Lovely said something real
Yeah.
interesting. She's like, "This is a new and Chris orchestrated everything. Yep,
Mhm.
including Kim being a victim.
Kim wasn't a
Yep,
victim. She
she
knew
of course
better.
not. She knew what's up. She
Well, you
also
know why
showed
she could play victim. Can we be honest about that?
acting skills.
No, she was able to play a victim because of the demographics of who the hell was involved in the tape. So
Yes,
Of
I'm
that's
course,
true.
sorry, guys, because
That's
yeah,
honest,
true.
that's
because
true. That's true.
how could I say this and be nice? A lot of I think for us as Black women, we need to learn our angle because I think that they have mastered their angle as the docile, the delicate flower,
Mhm.
when everything about them, and I'm not just talking about the Kardashians, but those that look like them, everybody in that group,
Has an angle.
girl, if you have friends that are that color, pay attention to how they act. Just pay it. Look,
Mhm.
put on your
Oh,
put
I
on
ain't
your
got.
objective goggles. How about that? I'll just say that.
I ain't got none of
And
my glasses on here, so I couldn't put mine on. I'd put it on for you.
observe the behavior. Observe how they talk to
Mhm.
their husbands. Observe how they talk to their
Yes.
boyfriends. Observe
Yes.
because there's one that's doing it right now and she's winning. Okay, we're going to just say her name begins with P. She's pulling the I don't I didn't really I didn't think about it that way. And everybody's
Yeah, slavery was not
like,
that bad, but
and I
You don't get off the
mean,
internet.
so no, but I understand this play so much better now because I'm looking at them objectively. I'm taking away any preconceived notions and all that.
Mhm.
And I will tell you, I learned a lot by when I was in property management. One of my properties was predominantly Russian, so it was older Russian women and men. Their dynamic is very interesting, where they're both equally
Aggressive.
kind of cold. It comes off as aggressive, but it's like, yeah, it's like there's no softness, right? But they
That's their
stick
culture.
together. Like I
That's
had
their
people
culture.
they were divorced and they were like, "Hey, can I get an apartment over there? My wife's going to be over there." See them walking hand in hand every day. I'm like, "But y'all, you gave me the divorce decree. What's going on here?" But they stick together.
Together.
And
Mhm.
then, but the women are rough. But if you ask men what they prefer, a lot of them will Russian mail order brides, right?
Mhm.
So there's that. And then you have the tiger moms. There's a reason that Asian women are called tiger moms. I managed a property in Koreatown. If you ask any guy that likes, they'll say, well, they're gentle and they're soft and they're delicate. And I'm like, have you lived with one before? Have you
Yep.
seen the old ones? Do you know how they actually are? Do you know how bossy and like,
They are.
do you know how regimented those women are? No, you don't, because you're
By the book.
buying the stereotype,
You're
Mhm.
which is
buying the fantasy, darling.
Mhm.
yes. And they even do it with us though, because I notice whenever I am more on the docile side or I really don't know something, like how I didn't know all that about Ray J or whatever, I really be genuinely shocked at some stuff. And I'm like, and some things make me recoil. And I've actually had men say, whatever, girl, I don't believe you. Like you rough. You know what you're doing. You've been around the block. I'm like, sir, no, I have not. Excuse me. Who do you think you're talking to, sir? I am not Keisha from the block. Okay. No, sir. So it's like, we almost can't be that because people don't buy it. And I'm like,
Mhm.
no, there's stuff that I don't know.
Yeah,
There's
because
things that go
images.
over my head. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what? And I don't argue back with men. And they think something's weird about that.
Yeah, well, image is very important, and that's, media is very important. That's one of the big things that
Yeah.
that I will say that YouTube has taught me the importance of media. And I do think that we as Black women can use the strength of being straightforward,
Hmm.
versus our counterparts. There are a lot of men who like Black women because they're straightforward, because we're no nonsense. We come into the room and people don't expect to have to play certain games with us versus other women. So, whatever we're doing, just I say use those things to your benefit in order to get what you want.
Let
Yeah.
piggyback off of what Cherie said. This all comes down to, we're talking about China, we're talking about the Kardashians, we're talking about how some people versus others
Yeah.
are viewed.
Hmm.
It
Yeah.
all comes down to personal and professional branding at the end of the day.
It
And
So
does.
what
true.
she's trying to do is rebrand herself. What
Mhm.
Yes.
the Chris Kardashians and the Chris Jenners and is what they did was to rebrand their daughters to the level where they're now a media empire. They were
Girl,
able to,
yes.
all of that comes down to branding, which is why I started talking about branding on Mentor Shelley. Because you
Yeah.
think it's not important in your career, lies you tell.
Well, can I
So
can I take a step back with that? Because it's very important for us to have this conversation
Mhm.
sure.
truthfully. Whenever you walk into a room and somebody doesn't know anything about you,
Yeah.
they will judge you by
Oh
how
yeah.
you're dressed, what
Yep.
your hair looks like,
Yep.
and the prejudices, not racism,
Intrinsic biases, yes.
prejudices and
Mm.
intrinsic
Hmm.
biases that they have based on what they see.
Yep.
You can't change that at all. And then as they get to know you, that's when the personal and professional branding kicks in. So what I try to say to the ladies on my channel is you're not going to be able to fight people's prejudices.
So true.
That just is the way that it is.
Right.
However, you are able to get to know them over time, judge them on an individual basis. They judge you on an individual basis because
Right.
that's where most white people I see are headed. They're off the Black
Mm.
Lives Matter train. They're
Mhm.
off the Black people as a whole train. And they're like, we're going to judge everybody on an individual basis with regards to who's getting opportunities, et cetera.
Yeah.
And you have to position yourself that way. So,
Right.
Okay.
yeah,
I got you.
yeah, yeah. With that, I'm going to go because I am darn tired. But I thoroughly enjoyed myself this evening, ladies. I was hoping Diamond Dave would come up, but he's probably
He
doing
said it's
stuff
a,
this
he said it's a
evening.
He said
little
it's late.
late.
It's
It's
All
late.
okay.
right. All right, then. Well, thank you, ladies. Enjoyed myself. Take care.
Thanks for coming by.
Cherie, it's a pleasure as always.
Okay, so Shelly, I wanted to talk about this real quick because I thought this was interesting. And now we're gonna pivot a little bit, but so I thought what he's saying is kind of interesting to me because what do you think about that? Where people do break their necks to be around them, so much so that it leads to their own detriment because there has not been any man that has gone through that group of women that has come out more successful than he was before he got there.
That's not the goal.
Do you see that happen in real life too? Like, do you see that play out? Because I do.
With some women and some families, absolutely.
Mhm.
The goal, when you have to also see who they choose. That's
Can you
not the goal.
elaborate?
If your goal
Yeah.
is to, let me put this as cold and as indifferent as it's going to come across. If your goal is to build and to gather resources from whomever and whatever and in whatever means that you can, and if you're sucking away from, in the person of Lamar Odom, in the person of Kanye West, in the person of all the other exes that they tried to make Kim Kardashian look all innocent for, none of them that stayed long term were better off for it. Notice all of who I'm talking about.
I agree. And the only one that's really still around and being treated mildly well is Scott Disick. But I'm
But
sure even he
he's
has some
not.
stuff.
But he's
Yeah.
that's the, you know that the treatment is different. Let's
What
be
do you
clear.
think? Hmm.
Let's be clear.
What do you think that's about? Like, why is it
What did I
that?
just say? What did I say right before I mentioned those names? If you're in the business of gathering and taking resources in whatever way it comes, they are not going to come out better for the wearer, because the purpose of bringing those type of people in is to take their resources in one way, shape, or form or another.
It seems like they don't even like it. It seems like the Kardashians aren't even in it to take their money. It's like they want their life force. Like that's honestly how I see it.
I don't want. That's why I said
I know. I'm like, we
I'm,
can't go
I'm
that deep.
keeping it.
We can't go that deep, but it's like they are after a particular life force, and we both know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm not gonna get conspiracy theory on you, but
but no,
resources
when I
is
say
not just money.
yeah, when I say life force, you know what I mean. It's like there's a certain something that they want to inject into that family, and it's kind of bizarre to me. And that's why I said if Robert were still alive, I don't think that he would let this go down. Not
Well,
saying that he had any biases, but I'm just saying that certain groups of people, like let's take, how do I say it without saying it? You know those folks that wear those little hats? There's a reason that they don't commingle so much. And there's a reason they do so well, because
they have an ecosystem and they have a network, and they also
yes,
have their own economy that does not involve anybody else.
yeah. And it's kind of, like I said, I still haven't figured out the entire play
You're not
on
going
that,
to, because there's other things going on in there that nobody knows about.
like
That's
stuff that
part
goes
of
on
the.
in dungeons and all that, or
I don't know nothing about that. I'm gonna leave that. As I said, let's not get conspiracy theories, because everything you're mentioning is going in that direction. All
no,
I'm
because
going to
I
say,
just know that there's something
there's something there, and there's
yeah, there's
something that,
something special about the seed that they want.
which
There's
is
something
exactly
about it.
why I said resources. Something ain't right in the buttermilk with them folk.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna get real old school country on you for a second. Something ain't right with buttermilk with them folk. Okay? And
See, that's
Denise
what I.
Denise made a very valid point. That's why I don't really feel bad for Kanye. He married a woman whose mother watched her give head and critique it. Who does that?
Hmm. But
It,
the
her mama
interesting.
does, because that was part of what she watched on the tape with Reggie.
Yeah. And I find it interesting because, gosh, now I have to critique myself because I was rather harsh on Blac Chyna, which is interesting because people do tend to be more harsh towards Black women, even other Black women, for their indiscretions, where I find that with other groups of women, they're easily forgiven for their disgusting
I was
debauchery.
trying to help you there. I really
No,
was.
I'm saying don't mince words. You know that, girl. Don't mince words when you come on my channel. It's like say what you need to say.
Which
Because
is exactly
sometimes
why I said everybody has a redeemable quality, because the only reason why all of Miss Kardashian's discretions are not looked at the same is because
no,
of who she is. Because I'm going
yeah,
to tell you the difference between, maybe say, what she does and what Blac Chyna was doing, was that Blac Chyna was doing it in the King of Diamonds, which is one of the biggest clubs in Miami.
mm.
A lot of the
Oh, that's right. Because you're a Floridian. I forgot about that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's one of the biggest, one of the most popular clubs in Miami, North Miami to be specific.
Mm.
A lot of strippers slash rappers came out of there. Um, a lot of the people that were on, what do you call it, Love and Hip Hop, kind of branched out from there. All of the peoples that have very seedy backgrounds have either tried or did their ever their best to get away from that lifestyle. But KOD is known. So
I
oh,
love
ma'am,
that.
ma'am, I'm gonna tell you this. I keep it 1,000 when it comes to
She
when
really
it comes to
does.
these folks. When
She
it
really
comes
does.
when it comes to these folks, I keep it 1,000. But I'm
Well,
saying
you
this.
know so much stuff, and it's just like
Well, I
no, because
mean,
I'll be like, how does Shelly even know this? Like, what the hell?
I watch stuff, I read stuff, something ain't right at the buttermilk. Selfish Love said, tale as old as time. Kim Monkey Branch from dude to dude until she got a bit. There you go. Because she wasn't doing anything different. It's just that, Blac Chyna didn't have the pick of the litter because of her environment. She's not that different.
Yeah, yeah,
So
no,
that's
and that's
why, which is exactly why, as much as you're like, oh, the Kardashians and they have the network, it's because their daddy was where he was while they were even exposed to the network. And even when you got exposed to the network, you stole from Brandy first.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just feel like China could have played it so much better because it's like she stole the seed, but she didn't plant it correctly. Like, she didn't,
She didn't know what to do. They got
it's like,
instructions from their
damn,
mama. That's
sheesh,
the
man.
let's be real clear. The
Yeah,
only difference between Blac Chyna and Kim is the fact that Chris knew what to tell that one to do. Blac Chyna mama didn't, and she didn't have the
yeah,
network. That's the only
yeah.
difference. So when I'm looking at both women, both of them,
Mm.
they were in the I'm going to lose term.
Mm.
I'm not going to say it out, but they were
Goat,
both
goat.
of them. Uh-huh. They were both prostitutes that didn't get paid.
I'm gonna keep this up here.
Okay? The difference is Chris gave instructions to Kim.
Wow.
Blac Chyna mama didn't have instructions to give her.
No, because her
So
oh,
so and
oh.
and and she didn't have the same network.
Mm-mm, not at
She went
all.
she went to whatever school. Kim went to private school with the Ray J's and the Brandys of the world, because their daddy was an attorney in that area. It's literally location.
And why pick Ray J out of all of the future Ivy League guys, all the future lawyers, doctors?
He was
Why?
he was chosen for his talents. Anyway,
You see what I'm saying? And I think also that was kind of what I was.
he was chosen for his talents. And Ray J can't really sing like that. Brandy has the voice. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah, she couldn't really
So,
do much.
right.
Like, there's not much they can do with the female friends that they have. So it's like they can kind of pivot to find the next guy off of their friends, that's really all they can do. Because I think women catch on to each other and then they would kick her to the curb once they, talking about Kim or Chloe, any of them, they would kick them to the curb once they saw the game that was happening. Right. So, but the men, sadly, like I said, I know that for a fact, they go after a particular kind of guy because I don't think that really go for their antics, in the sense that they don't feel privileged to be with them.
Right. They go see through their trickery.
Yeah, they're just
keep in mind, their background is Armenian. So depending on where in Armenia you're from, you may not look like them.
You're not a prize. You're not a prize. And
it's culturally that might not be. So the thing of it, I'm not trying to offend anybody. Let's not go there.
Oh, I know. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I know you were going in on Blac Chyna, and I was like, whoa, press pause. Because that one ain't no different. The only difference is that she got instructions on how to move.
Yeah, girl. They ain't no different, but the show was about China. But they ain't different.
I understand that. But you have to understand, you're always going to find Kims and Blac Chynas in this world. Because you have the Kims that already has 500 miles ahead because they got instructions. And the Blac Chynas are only at 50 miles. Now, the internet can be the great equalizer if you know how to use it properly. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm saying to you, if Blac Chyna has the right team and she uses her story, her redemption story, if you learn anything from Lisa Nichols, if you guys know who that life coach is, mm-hmm. Lisa Nichols, if you use that story can put you in rooms that nobody would ever believe. So if you do the self-work, as Iana always says, if you do the self-work, you can go far. So Selfish Love says, y'all, it's a book called Shanghai Girls by Ling Ling. That book has a lot of game about how Asian women make moves and decisions. Absolutely. Didn't they make a movie on it? Because I think I watched a movie that was based off of that book, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so at the end of the day, it's all about branding. Because they definitely did a professional branding job, which is why people know who the heck the Kardashians are now. Because they were thieves before. And everybody in Hollywood knew they were thieves. But they paid a lot of money to keep Brandy's mama quiet because she was getting ready to expose the heck out of them.
Really?
Her daughter's money. Yes, ma'am.
Huh.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I say. I don't be knowing everything. I just come with a lot of opinions. And that's why I wanted to have you and Cherie on, because I be knowing that I kind of go off the handle with stuff. But like I said, I'm skeptical of everybody, to be quite honest with you. It's like, it's very hard to get me to, oh yeah, that person. Yeah. It's like, no, I don't buy what you're selling. Like, why are you publicizing it?
And part of the problem too, like Flashwave says, yes, we all get instructions. It's so for us to follow. A lot of us are hard-headed because Blac Chyna, her background, she's not going to follow a lot of instructions. Her and mother are at odds now. I don't know. The relationship there has always been frayed. There's some work that needs to be done there, both with her individually and collectively for them together. They both need individual work.
Yeah, she speaks very harshly about her daughter. And
that's because she's projecting. She needs to work on herself too. She and the Lord need to really get in there and have a true little prayer and fasting for a while till he get some of that stuff off of her, because she has struggles herself.
That's a lot of projection. Yeah. When I heard that interview, I was like, China didn't stand a chance, if I'm being quite honest. And that's why I said I see a young woman that is flailing in the wind.
I don't think she's flailing in the wind. I think she can make headway if she gets around the right people. I'll put it to you this way: if if you decide to, I'm just going to just put this out there because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times we always think of things in one way because that's the only way we know how to approach it. Oh, thank you so much, Denise, for the Denise
Did I
Jones
get
for
some more
the
money?
super chat. For the super chat. The
Thank
if
you.
you want, if you let's say for example, right, you will have a goal that you want to buy 30 cell phones and start a cell phone shop online,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you know you're going to need $10,000 to get them shipped, to get the website done, all of this stuff. You're going to need $10,000 to do all of that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know the first step. You just know how much you need and you know what kind of phones you want. What are you going to do? Are you going to sit on your opposable thumbs and wonder what to do? Or are you going to go find resources and how to make that happen?
I'm gonna find resources.
Okay. If she really wants to make the change,
Mm-hmm.
there's resources that's in things like this.
Hold that up so everybody can see it.
Oh, this is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I've had it for
Mm-hmm.
a long time. Um, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Powerful Lessons in Personal Change. My goodness. Look at the book that and we're talking about this right now.
Can you put it
She
up to the
decides,
camera so they can
if
all
she,
get a
if,
little?
if she decides to start those changes in her life, this is a great book to start with.
I got you, sister.
And not just to, you know what I mean? Okay, tell it. Also, the X tape idea came from the so-called friend Paris Hilton because
Mm-hmm.
she Kardashian used to be her stylist as well. Had
Yeah.
success with her tape and got that reality show with her. And I remember that reality show,
Yes.
although it was kind of dry after a while with her and Nicole Richie. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that too. So all they're doing is going by what worked for other people.
Why is
So
it that we can't do that though? Because I noticed that every time
no, listen,
every time one of these tries to do it, it's just passed off and thrown in a pile somewhere. Nobody cares.
that's because, darling,
Is it Black Lady PR? Is our PR just messed up?
no,
What is it? I really am honestly kind
we
of
live
confused by that.
we live in a country that doesn't value us as much, dear. Let's be honest. And if we are going to make it in the upper echelons of where we want to be, business wise and money wise, that is not the direction for respectable Black women to take.
So weird that they can do it and be considered respectable.
That's
And
because they're looked at and they are objectified, that for lack of a better term,
yeah.
differently. And it just is what it is. If you want to go, if listen, if you want it to change, gotta start we gotta start our own country. Go buy an island and start our own country. But we have to understand where we are and how we maneuver through where we are. And that ain't the way for us to go. So
Yeah.
leave people, crazy people methods alone. It's their system. Thank you very much, Miss Ori. Yeah. So they can forgive, throw away, and keep and coddle, because a lot of that is coddling. When you coddle foolish behavior, it continues. When you discipline foolish behavior, it stops. So when you coddle foolishness, it continues. But if you're coddling it for only certain types of people, they tend to get away with things. Here's the
Yeah.
problem. Here's the problem. That that causes problems down the line for them. They just don't realize they're creating a bad habit. But I'm gonna leave that alone. So that's not the direction any of us should ever take because it doesn't work the same for us.
And
And if
that's
and if you want to make money, let's get some legitimate business out there. And if we don't know how to market, either we hire somebody like Erica would say, or learn how to market ourselves and have some legitimate business and get this bag for real, but do it legitimately. And let's
I
not go down
agree.
the road that the Blac Chynas or even the Kardashians started off on, and they legitimize themselves through BS. which is why I could never have any real respect for them. I respect the business savvy. I don't respect your methods. I don't respect the lies. I don't respect how you went about it or who you ruined or who you stole from to start it off. Let's be clear. I'm not going to ever have respect for that, which is why I never watched them the whole time they were on TV.
Right. I
That's
got
just
you.
me. So that, you know, you have to, I look at everything from an individual personal responsibility standpoint. You shouldn't have to do all of that to make some bread when your father was the attorney for one of the most popular cases in the country.
Mm-hmm.
That should have never, that never had to be your path. You just took the easy route. Let's be clear. But that's just my opinion. I'm gonna leave that alone.
I know. Because I'm like, why would you open up a can of worms like that? Knowing now I'm over here like, I have so much I want to say. But no, and I think to be honest with you, because this is all really related to economics and to kind of help everybody understand the power of the pivot.
Mm.
People do have to understand that for certain people that look a certain way or have a certain stereotype in society, whether we are that or not, we're branded with that. And our pivot is going to look very different than a Kim Kardashian pivot. You know what I mean? It's going to look different, even than a
Right.
Blac Chyna pivot, you know? Because even her pivot has to be different than what Kim's would be, you know? It's like, because realistically, when Kim took all her stuff out, nobody had full panel discussions about it. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I do recognize that we are a little, people are more critical towards us, even our own kind. So I will admit that I did that, y'all. I'm very, you know, I'll admit when I do shit. I don't care. But I want to say the reason I really did this is because I want for us to, just like, you know, the masses are kind of swaying with what she's doing now. It's like a lot of those same people were swaying when she was doing the crazy stuff. So my thing is like, let's try to take these changes people go through for what they are. Take what you see on social media for what it is, right? Take it with a grain of salt. And don't really structure or craft your life from those people, because you
That
can
should
see
have
how
never.
quickly, you
That should have
know,
never been a goal in the first. That should have never been a person you craft your life after in the first place. Look at
I mean,
the journey.
and this is what I was getting at. This is kind of what I was saying, Dark and Lovely, where we need to study it and
Yeah, of
not,
course.
you know, because I don't think that any of us are going to do a sex tape, but I think that there are certain plays that they did when it comes to the trademarking, the 50-50 custody. Like these are plays that regular people can do, right?
Yeah,
Mentor Shelley has a
yeah.
brand. I'm developing a brand.
Mhm.
There are things that she and I will have to do to protect our brand,
Right.
right? Um, let me not say too much, but if I get married, yeah, future husband, there's going to be paperwork. Sorry. And
It is what
it's
it
not
is.
just going to be the marriage license. And I won't get offended if you require paperwork either. And those are the kind of people who
We
I
all
want
have
to
to
reach.
protect ourselves at the end of the
Exactly.
day. So
That's what we're trying to
that's
get across.
understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we have to protect ourselves. Yes, we definitely have to do the pivot, but in the right
Yes.
direction. And
Yes.
we also have to understand that we have way more assets than we think. And
Yes.
it doesn't always have to be our body.
That's the main thing.
We don't
Yeah.
always have to, our assets could be creating something that helps millions of people. Our assets could be providing affordable housing to people. Our assets could be us starting a nonprofit to truly make this world a better place. Our assets could be so much more than what, unfortunately, these two ladies, we did talk about Blac Chyna, who is Angela, that what they're offering, and her story can help a lot of people out of that circumstance if it's used properly. If she has the right people behind her, her story can help so many, but she has to do the proper self work to get there.
Yeah.
I never, as long as you're breathing, as long as you're breathing and you have your right mind, and you're willing to do the necessary work with the Lord and with yourself, you can become a better professional and a better person.
Mm-hmm.
In
Yeah.
her case, she has to do both. And that's what I would leave this whole night with. If she does the proper work, things absolutely, it can be a complete 180 for her. And I think she's making headway. And I just think that, with anybody that's ever, if you're a Christian, if these are your beliefs, your first experience, your first spiritual experience with God, the Bible, and all of those things, nothing changed overnight. It was a process.
Yeah, she was baptized like a year ago.
Exactly. And I'm sure when she just got baptized, there's things that happen where she's probably further along than she was when she first got baptized. But all of that is a process. Self-work is a process.
And she got her doctorate online.
Listen, stop hating on her doctorate. You got to work for yours if you want.
It's a certificate program, is what it was. But I thought,
listen, it is what it is, and
yeah,
that's wonderful. But I think it can be used for good, or it can be just a piece of paper she got. It all depends.
Well, she's Dr. Angela White now, and that's why I said it definitely is a rebranding. I think it's in the right direction, and I do hope that it is genuine. I really do. 100%. I do, because I'm with you on the anybody can be redeemed.
Yeah.
Look.
Thank you, Selfish Love, for sticking with us so long. But I think we are going to wrap it up pretty much now. So,
y'all.
Of course, guys, as you know, you can always find her at PX Credit Solutions on the Credit Solutions channel, or pxcreditsolutions.com. You can find all of her links at the bottom in the show notes.
Yeah, I didn't pay her to say that.
Listen, we have to become a better professional in all aspects. It ain't over until there you go, Selfish Love, until you win.
Yeah.
And absolutely. So, and if you guys are looking for anything career wise, personal branding wise, to get your professional life to the next level, you can absolutely work with me at mentorshelley.com/consultations. And my consultation links are there as well. And of course, you can find our third panelist information on Black Women Making Money.com. You can also find her information on her YouTube channel as well. Guys, it has been an absolute pleasure sharing with you our opinions, our viewpoint on this whole thing and the pivot. Every one of us here can pivot in the direction that we so choose, as long as you become a better professional. You getting this money? Come on, you getting this money, right?
And pay your taxes. All right,
you better.
But yeah, everybody, thank you guys so much for stopping by. We didn't intend for it to be a 3-hour live, so thank you for those of you that stuck with us. Thanks for all your comments and your input too, and sending many blessings her way. Let's be real about it, because anybody that's doing better, honestly, it's a good thing. We're in a crazy world, so I definitely do wish her the best of luck. And congratulations, Miss Angela Renee White, on your pivot. And honestly, we could all take a page out of her book and learn something from it. So share this with anybody that you think may benefit from it. And yeah, I think we're good, guys. So hit me up at mycreditcall.com if you have any issues with your credit or a debt situation that you need help with. And I got you covered. All right. So we will see you guys on the next video. And thanks for all your super chats as well. We definitely appreciate the support over here at the Solutionist Experience. I will see you guys on the next video. Credit Solutionist out.